Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Cyberpunk one-shot game. I'm joined by quite a group of people here tonight. How's everyone doing tonight?
Just peachy.
Oh, I can tell this is going to be an interesting game already.
What makes you say
I'm
that?
doing well.
I never asked for this.
Yeah, actually, you asked us all to be here. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. I'm ready for some cyber augmentations, some neon-caked streets, that sort of vibe for tonight. I have a feeling it's going to be quite an enjoyable time, at least for me.
And it might be quite entertaining for those watching me because I have no idea what I'm doing. So here we go.
Oh yeah, this Savage Worlds mechanics. Seems very interesting compared to what I'm used to with 5e and 3.5 Pathfinder. This is very different.
Yeah, so to let the audience know, we are not using typical 5th edition D&D for this session. We are using a variation on Savage Worlds. It's a generic role-playing system that we've kind of adapted here for a cyberpunk game. It's a little bit different in terms of the actual roles, but I figure once we get the game started, we actually start doing skill checks and all of that, it will kind of pick it up fairly quickly enough. I hope. We'll see.
We'll see how it works.
We'll see. In that case, I'll go ahead and let everyone introduce their characters before we go ahead and start the game. So, Rondo, I'll let you go ahead and start off by describing your character.
What exactly do you want me to say about them? Like just
kind of like what their name is, what their basic description is, what their specialty is, and then we'll kind of go down the list of everyone.
Okay. For tonight's game, I am playing Nails. He is an 19-year-old hard rockin' rebel. He's in a death metal band, and he is a cyber psych.
Amazing. Next up, we'll have Trippy Soul. Trippy Soul, who are you playing for tonight?
I am playing the glorious Richard B. Bigger, a stout 40-year-old private investigator who has a gambling problem but dreams big of making a lot of money and retiring early, off in the fantasy world of Thailand, where he can retire around beautiful Asian women, pleasuring him until the day he dies.
Well, I must say that's quite a lofty goal in a setting such as this. To further illuminate what the setting is, this is sort of a post-apocalyptic setting of sorts, even though it's still cyberpunk, in a futuristic New York City, renamed to Nexus City. So a dream like that is certainly lofty indeed, but that's perfect. Wrangler, who are you playing?
I am playing Richard O'Shea. Yes, another Richard. Yippee. He is a vigilante, and I'm still learning what these character classes are, so please bear with me. I think he's an augment of sorts. He's
a successor.
Genetically augmented or something. A what?
A successor. Genetically enhanced humans.
So I guess I'm like Khan, but a street vigilante version of him.
Yeah, you're very much a street Ronin. So for everyone out there, along with our regular humans in this setting, we've also got a few fictional sci-fi races to go along with it. One of them is the Successor, which is sort of, if you've ever seen Gattaca, it's kind of that same concept of a newer and improved human. That is very much the kind of character that Wrangler will be playing.
But I'm not getting surgery to extend my legs, no.
No. And on top of that, to my knowledge, I think he's also pretty ugly for Successors.
But he's got a six-pack, a deep pack.
So it definitely balances out in the end. All right. Next up is Billy Bob Sack.
Yeah, I'm playing Foxy Alexander Gemma Shalar, a 20-year-old black woman who hails from a fucking
Shalar.
corporate town, oil town in North Texas. She's got a cowboy get up, and she's good with sniper rifles and gunslinging revolvers.
What's your class?
What's my class?
There isn't really any classes in this system. The closest thing that comes to it is archetypes.
Archetype?
It's something you can go by, but it's not required. If
Okay,
you're
so-
kind of familiar with like Fallout or something, it's
Yeah, this
sort of
kinda
like
makes sense.
that idea.
So Nails is like a
Yeah.
cyber psych. Frequencies of street vigilante, street Ronin.
So I didn't go off the archetypes because this was before he even wrote them down because we were beta testing the character creator. So mine's just
You're just Foxy.
free-formed, I guess.
You're just Foxy. Okay, good to know. Just Foxy.
She is also very attractive.
Yes.
Foxy lady.
She cannot. She does not have a silver tongue, but she makes up with it by boobs and ass.
Just Foxy.
She's got a great
Those are more
ass.
important anyway.
Great assets.
Mhm.
All right, and last but certainly not least, Nikolai Powell. Who will you be playing for tonight's game?
I play Luther, a 19-year-old street rat with a fondness for explosions. He also has a few minor and major delusions. He believes the city is run by reptilians in human form, and he occasionally blows up inanimate objects who he believes plot to kill him.
This is my
Alex,
first time
are you
hearing
sure
about
he's
this, and
delusional?
I'm absolutely in love with this.
Yes, this is
Alex,
like
Are you sure the reptilian thing is a delusion?
Yeah, I was about to say I think he would fit pretty well in real life.
He does actually.
Nikolai is one of his like conspiracy theories is that he believes that these cyber frogs are having like their oil, like they're dumping stuff in their oil to make the cyber frogs gay.
Yes,
yes. Turn
and
the frog
they are
gay.
plotting to kill him.
Is his last name Jones by any stretch of the imagination?
It is now.
Oh, I see. All right. In that case,
Maybe I should change mine to David Icke.
all right. In that case, without any further ado, if we're all ready to go ahead and start the game, I shall begin with a bit of an intro narration.
Let's do it.
All right.
All right.
The myriad lights cascade down the abandoned, lamplit streets. You turn your back on the shouts and murmurings of everyday citizens, a cacophony which fills Nexus City with a semblance of life, even though the world itself is a desiccated corpse. This is the festering den of violence you have always known. Long ago, this was once known as the City of New York. That is, before the Hive arrived, and the Earth's atmosphere was poisoned by its presence. However, that was over a century ago. You've only seen glimpses of the old world yourself, those being through old recordings and recreations through cyberspace. Even now, you can barely recognize that alien world of the past. Now, there is only darkness. Only the neon streets to shield you from total extinction, from the hive parasite, from the night. You wander along, keeping your recent invitation in mind. It seemed rather odd that you should receive an anonymous email late at night, one that wasn't spam or the usual virus. However, when this was followed up by a personal visit from an intermediary, your interest was piqued, and thus you decided to investigate. Apparently, this private investigator, whoever he is, knows all about you, not to mention what or who you might be looking for. And besides, the figures he mentioned were too tempting to resist. You can feel the cold acid rain running along your skin, bringing about the usual tingling sensation. You adjust your clothing and trench coat, holding out one arm so that you're somewhat shielded. Yes, according to the email, this must be the place. Your footsteps echo down the lone alleyway. You can see at your right is a small sign reading Barry Cranston, Private Investigator. The door swings open, a bell tinkling, as you file into a small office that's filled with sweet-smelling smoke. Right behind you emerge several others like yourself, supposedly clients, though it's hard to make out their facial features in the darkness. There before you, a single lamp illumines the room, giving you a glimpse of the man seated there. His features are uncomfortably warm and greeting, despite his grizzled demeanor. He beckons you to sit with a smile. Come in, my friends. There is enough seating in here for everyone. What do you do? And with that, I'll go ahead and go one person at a time, asking what their character looks like and what they're doing in the middle of this situation.
Yeah,
Which one of
Otter.
us do you want to go first?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Well, in that case, I'll go ahead and ask Rondo. Rondo, what is Nails doing in the middle of this situation?
Nails is wearing his full armor clothing, so he looks like he's wearing just like a full, not like power armor, but just like an armored suit all over his body. He's wearing his a spiked like heavy metal jacket, and is also wearing a spiked biker helmet with a skull motif on the front. He sits down, and he just kind of relaxes into a seat and just kind of waits for what everyone else is gonna do.
All right. While that's happening, Investigator Cranston just offers you a cigar. He's like, please, they're of the highest vintage. This one is Cuban.
Nails goes, ooh, and he immediately picks it up, but since he doesn't want to remove his helmet, he just kind of stashes it away in his jacket.
He gives you a curt nod before leaning back in his seat. Next up, what is Richard B. Bigger doing in this situation?
Richard's well, he's a stout guy wearing a reinforced trench coat and a button-down shirt that's a size too small, and a kind of campy, like undone, messy tie, and a fedora. And he's checking out the office and seeing all the little details. He's basically investigating the investigator's office.
All right. Do you want to go ahead and make me a notice roll while you're kind of sitting down, making a quick survey of your surroundings? It's quite dark in this room.
Yeah, he's like kind of be standing off to the corner in the back, hands in his pocket, eyes only.
Yeah. So this is going to be a notice check. So whatever die type you have associated with that skill, roll that along with a d6. Whichever is higher, that's going to be what you end up succeeding. It looks like you got a success. So you can see that even despite the room being quite dark, there's just enough light, just kind of like reflecting off the surface of the desk, that you can kind of see the faint skittering of cockroaches just kind of like going along the corners of the room. It's still very much a dirty place, but among this, you can see just held off in two parts of this corner, far side from you. It seems like the vertical trailing of cigar smoke. It is not just all of you and Investigator Cranston. He has people next to him. And with that, we shall
after
go
noticing
to...
around, like, how kind of... Oh, hold on, I was going to do a little... So he's looking at Barry going, geez, Barry, this is a great office you got here. You invite clients to this place?
It's not in the best of shape at the moment, but I suffice with what I have.
Oh, this better be good.
And with that, we shall go to Wrangler. What is Ricochet doing in this small little office environment?
All right. Well, character description. he's pretty built, but I would imagine he's high in agility. So I'm thinking he's probably a lanky guy, even though he's pretty built.
Pretty much.
He's wearing regular clothes. I guess jeans and flannel with a trench coat over top. Yeah, trench coat over top, and all right. So he says, "Please come in and be seated." Right?
Yeah, he's pretty much offering you like one of several seats that's kind of like there before you. It's dark, but you can kind of detect the outline of each as you're all kind of like in
How
this
are the
place.
chairs laid out?
They're pretty much like two
Is
main
he like
rows.
behind a desk and there are chairs around the room?
It's more like a series
so
of
it's rows facing forward?
Yeah, rows facing forward. Then they're all facing a desk, and he's behind the desk. Behind him, from what Richard B. Bigger saw, there's also sort of like this distinct image of like two possible figures. At the very least, it's cigar smoke in the back of the room. It's a very smoky room.
All right. So are they like just folding chairs or whatever? Or
Yeah, they're simple folding chairs. Nothing too
floating
special.
chairs? They're not like fixed to the floor, I think. Right.
No, they're easily movable.
The back row, kind of tilt the chair a little bit so I could just kind of be diagonal. Okay, yeah, just kind of angle the chair a little bit so I could keep one eye on the door and the other eye on him and just observe who are all the other people in here.
All right. With that, you can sort
Who's
of get a
surrounding me?
clear view of everyone else. You get a pretty good view of both the investigator himself, Investigator Cranston, along with Nails, Richard B. Bigger, yourself, and next up, you end up seeing, we shall go with Billy Bob Sack's character, Foxy. What is Foxy doing?
I guess she just sits down with her hand on her holster revolver.
I'm
She's
guessing
ready.
she also has her sniper rifle with her as well.
Yeah, and her duffel bag.
All right. So yeah, you're pretty much like shouldering this duffel bag as you kind of like seat yourself. Everyone else who notices Foxy, they notice that you're very attractive, like pretty much supermodel attractive.
Goddamn right.
Nails turns to her and says, "Damn."
Settle down, kid. You're too young.
That's right. You can look, but you can't touch.
I have to roll a perception check. Do they jiggle?
Go ahead and roll a notice check. So that's going to be the die type associated with that skill, along with the.
No. That was a joke.
Oh,
You want
I'm
to
actually
screw it. I have
making
no
it a
idea how to
roll
roll,
here.
so teach me how to roll on this.
Yeah, do it.
All right, let's do it then.
All right.
How do I do a roll?
All right. If
I
you
have
can
my
pull up your
character sheet on the
character
screen.
sheet. All right. In that case, go ahead and click on the skill. It should make the roll for you. There it goes. So it shows that you got a success.
Well, I didn't do anything.
Pretty much just by
How
clicking
did I
on
do
your
that?
skill.
That was me. I was trying it.
Oh, that was Trippy doing that. Go ahead and click on your skill for it.
All right, which skill am I clicking on here?
This is going to be a notice roll because you're actually trying to notice in your environment.
Notice, and I'll find that under skills, right?
Right. It's going to be on the left side of your character sheet.
It's between boating and persuasion. It's like 2/3.
Oh, I got it.
Down,
Yeah.
It's hidden in there. It's so many of them.
Okay. Do I have a modifier on that?
No.
It's asking me-
It's just going to be
asking me about
regular roll.
Fire.
Yeah, I'll let you know if you have a modifier.
Just hit submit.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so I just leave the 0 there and hit submit.
Yep.
Easy peasy. There you go.
And that's a success.
Where does it
Oh,
display?
you got 5 raises.
Oh, where-
Got
So
Chat box on
Where does that display?
it shows it under the chat box. That will be the first tab on your right there, where it has like all of the roles listed. So you ended up getting a success with 5 raises. And to briefly clarify on what raises are, raises is kind of like on top of having a successful
roll. It wasn't all the
roll.
way down.
Yeah. Raises are degrees of success. The more raises you get, the better the success is going to be. So Ricochet, you notice that not only does Foxy's breasts, they're very nice. You also get a very good purview of them from your position. It's like pretty well like pretty revealing. As much as Foxy
so they're
is
real.
willing to show them. Yes, they're very real.
They're real then.
Oh,
Okay.
Real.
All right.
Real.
And last up, Luther. What is Luther doing?
All right.
Luther is wearing his combat suit, and it is covered in a large raincoat. Luther walks through the room and inspects the chair next to Billy Bobsack's character. He visually inspects if there is a trap, a bomb, or anything under the chair, and when he's satisfied there is nothing, he sits down.
All right,
And then
go
he
ahead and give me an
inspects Billy
investigation roll.
Bobsack's character. Visually inspects
normal
her
behavior.
for bombs, of course.
Super
Sounds
normal
like there's
behavior.
2 rolls here.
Okay.
All right.
Already.
First roll is go ahead and make me an investigation check for your chair. Notice that's successful. So
Can I make a roll to notice when he's fucking staring?
yes. For the moment, he is looking at under the chair for any signs of traps. Foxy wouldn't know this. Let's see. For your notice, though, you can see that under the chair you're thinking about sitting down on, there are no signs of traps, thankfully.
Definitely no bombs there.
Thankfully.
The lizard men didn't think to check this spot.
Who took the Cuban cigarette? Who was that?
That was Investigator Cranston. He was the one who offered you a cigar.
I lean over towards him and tell him, "You do know Cuba is not real. Those things are made in orbital farms. They are made of a composite material of dried algae and fish oil."
I love it.
Foxy just puts her hand or her head in her hand.
I love
A
it.
little bit.
So whenever you do this, Cranston an eyebrow just raises. He's like, "Is that so? Well,
Yes.
I should have to say that I wasn't aware of that situation before. It's a rather interesting fact, I should say." He just nods rather courteously. And let's see. You went ahead and made the investigation check. That is a hard failure. And Foxy, go ahead and make the notice roll for him trying to notice.
Okay.
All right. So pretty much whenever you have your head just buried on your hands, Foxy, you can see that Luther is just like turning around, sitting back down. He's trying to like get a glance of the goods while he's just like pretty much planting himself back in a seat. You just turn in such a way to where he doesn't get a good look at it at all.
Okay.
Wait, I failed my investigation check. So Luther is now convinced that those are not silicon implants. Those are C4 implants, and she is carrying literal booby traps.
Oh no.
Sure, boobs.
Staring gag.
With that, P.I. Cranston looks at you all inquisitively. He's like, "Well, if you've made each of yourselves comfortable, I believe I should get down to business, if that is fine. If you need another minute, that is perfectly understandable. Otherwise, I am always here.
Let's get the show on the road. We got all the emails. We all got the email. Why did you summon us here? Why are we here?
Well,
And has
I
anyone
know
ever told you sound exactly like George Takei?
I do not know this
No.
George Takei. If there was someone like that, I would have to say, oh my. Anyway. Billy Bob Sack is just losing it over here. Anyway, I brought you here each for a specific purpose. You, despite your all's quirks, I know you each as people of various skills that I need in chasing down a particular killer who remains loose on the streets. I am assuming you are familiar with the phrase of psycho. These are dangerous psychics who roam the streets that we must keep tight tabs on. This one in particular is dangerous, since he is apparently able to imprint his psychic knowledge onto others, effectively mind controlling them to do his will. This is even more dangerous than usual, since he knows the names of many powerful people that are pretty high up. As such, I ask that each of you would try and find a way of tracking him down. His name
Do you
is
want a
Hirohito.
location? Do you want a detainment?
I want him dead or alive. However you go about it is up to you.
Continue, what's the pay?
The pay is very good. I have information, but if that does not suffice, I also have credits.
I like credits.
Money talks, bullshit walks.
I'm willing to offer 25,000 credits a person, if that helps whatsoever.
50
Done.
at least.
How many of these guys are there?
There are 5 of you in total.
No, I mean, I was asking the
Look at this one
PI.
killer.
How many of these people are we? How many of these killers are there?
There is just the
Is it
one.
one in particular or a group?
There is just the one. His name is Hirohito Arakawa. He's a man who we've kept close tabs on for some time. It seems he's only recently escaped detainment, and now he's on the loose. I can give you the names of 3 people he is after. He's trying to assassinate using his underlings.
You know where his base is?
I cannot give you an exact location
I'm sorry,
as
that was
to his
very broken up.
whereabouts.
Could you repeat that?
Oh, is the mic breaking up?
Yeah, it was.
Is the mic breaking up?
Or
One
for mine anyway. I don't know if it was just my end or if that was for all of us.
It may have been
Not on my end.
internet.
I
or
thought it was
something.
me.
Well, I cannot tell you his exact location, but I can tell you whom he is planning on targeting. And that, you can possibly track down where he might be lurking from there. If you are willing to write down a few names, I can give you their locations, and you can start your investigation there.
Well, yeah,
Go for it.
25,000 credits. Great for the Thailand fund.
We're listening.
I'm in. What are the names?
Well, on top of the money, I can also offer you a special vacation for you in particular, if that helps sweeten the deal whatsoever.
Vacation
This
where?
guy must have really pissed in your Wheaties.
Wherever you want. If this is Thailand, then Thailand it shall be.
You had me at Thailand. Let's go.
Very
What are
well.
the names?
Well, the 3 names you should keep in mind. The first name is Vincent Wallace. He is a business tycoon who has a penchant for gambling. You may find him within the death race arenas. That is your first potential victim.
Potential victim?
In the what races?
A potential victim for Arakawa that you must.
Where'd you say he was?
He is a successor.
The what
He is
races?
a business tycoon. The death races.
Are these
Where's he
automotive?
usually hang out?
Say it again.
Where does he usually hang out?
He usually hangs out around the death race arena where he is normally gambling. That is where you can find him most commonly. You would know the death
Are
race
these
arena
death races
around the
automotive in
city.
nature?
Very much so. You would know enough about death races. They're pretty much the major sport
Are-
here in Nexus City.
That's what Richard B. Bigger's gambling addiction on. He loves gambling at the death races.
Yeah, pretty much it. In many ways, it replaces a lot of conventional sports. It replaces horse racing in terms of gambling. So really, the basics of the game is where it's pretty much kind of like a Grand Prix, but at the same time, it's pretty much life or death. There's a lot of actual deadly traps and weapons that each of the racers use during the race, and usually there's some gravity-defying technology as part of it. So it's very exciting to watch, and there's a lot of gambling surrounding that scene.
Because they probably can't handle themselves in the pits like the NASCAR hillbillies.
Whenever life gets really shitty like this one, having good entertainment really helps ease up on the pain.
So Richard's eyes kind of widen up and goes, "Death races, gambling. I can't wait. I love when the bikers blow up and one catches on fire and runs around screaming. That's
Yes,
so
sir.
fun to watch."
There's quite a lot of opportunity for you to gamble away if you so wish, but I would encourage not to get too carried away, because if you accept this job, I will be holding you to it. Our second
Okay.
target is a person going by the name of Insomnia, as she is commonly known. Her real name is Irina Semenov. She is a local celebrity of sorts within a club called Hell's Paradise. She is a rather burlesque dancer, if you catch my meaning.
Oh, I catch your meaning. Wink.
Is it
More
is that
bombs.
like a
Okay,
Nails
Irene
that-
says.
you can go Wrangler.
Irene Semenoff. Irene Semenoff. What was her? What was her
Insomnia.
Her
nickname?
real name is Insomnia.
I mean, her nickname.
Yes, her dancing name.
Is that like a nightclub or like a gentleman's club or what
Yes.
kind of club?
Hell's
Okay.
Paradise is the nightclub of which she frequents. She is more or less the primary attraction of the place, barring a few other dancers, of course. But she has more than a few connections with Vincent Wallace, for one. And she is definitely one of the potential targets for Arakawa.
Nail speaks
Which
up.
was going to be my
Oh,
next
I've been
question.
there.
Why is he targeting her?
Yeah, sure could.
Is that what you're asking, Wrangler?
Why
Insomnia
why is,
knows certain
Psycho...
things.
Okay.
She has certain
And
connections
why
to
is he
Vincent
targeting-
Wallace and those who have wronged her in the past.
Now, Vincent Wallace has wronged Insomnia.
Who have wronged Arakawa in the past.
Oh, okay. And
Yeah, she has connection. She has
all right, so
connections
she has
to the people who
connections to
wronged
Vincent.
Arakawa.
Are her connections? Yeah, are her connections the reason she's being targeted, or is she being targeted on her own?
You'd have
merits,
to go
so
ask her.
speak? Or both.
That is still to be determined. I do not fully know that
Oh, okay.
information myself. The last
Right.
target.
Nail speaks up. I think I've been to that club before. Yeah, I think I can get us in.
Well, all the better. If you have prior connections to Hell's Paradise, then that just means that your investigation may go smoother. Our last target, he is a name that hits pretty close to home. He is an an agent whom I am quite affiliated with myself. He is a government agent going by the name of Harold Maxwell. I will not say too much about him, only that he does frequent the area quite a bit. I would say that as for him, where you could most likely find him is within the EvoCorp labs. He has most of the connections through there, and whenever him and Vincent have any conversations, it is usually within that complex.
So all three of these people know each other?
Indeed.
Is Harold an employee of EvoCorp?
He is more than an employee, less of an employee and more of an advisor, one should say. He provides funding for Vincent and his projects.
Like a
Nail says-
consultant?
Indeed.
Nail says in like a worried tone, are you saying that we have to break in to one of these labs?
I do not necessarily mean you have to break in, per se. Only that you should speak with those who are patrolling the building. Allow them to let you in, assuming you are trying to protect Harold Maxwell, which I hope you are.
Oh yeah, of course. I just want to make sure that you that we were on the same page as
What was the name of the fucking name of the main dude we're going after?
Hirohito,
Vincent Wallace? Or the
No.
that guy?
the killer.
The killer.
Hirohito Awakawa.
Hirohito.
Did he work for Harold?
The affiliation is not quite clear, at least to me. I will leave you to figure that out yourselves. I
What
can
was the
only
name of the
say so
giant
much,
corp they
at
work
least
for?
what my benefactors have told me.
Didn't mean to cut you off. What was the name of the giant corp these all these people work for?
EvoCorp.
EvoCorp.
If you want to go ahead and...
Because, of course, it's called EvoCorp.
EvoCorp.
Emo? I thought it was Evo.
EVO.
Yeah.
CORP.
Yeah, okay.
Evo.
That just
Yeah,
sounds like
That's
awesome,
funny. That's good. Yeah, EvoCorp.
awesome bad guy company. I love it.
Mm-hmm. That's great.
Okay, how many of us are there again? There's
Out of you all together, there's 5 of you.
got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we got 3 potential targets, and there's 5 of us. So
Foxy turns to Nails, I guess. Want
Who
to hit
is-
up Hell's Paradise?
Hell yeah. And I make the devil horns.
All
Well, I
right.
know where I'm going. I'm going to the death races to do investigation. I'm totally not going to gamble. I got to do some investigation.
Somehow I don't trust you.
You
Yeah.
do you, man. You do you.
Because no one else will.
and I'll go head over to EvoCorp and see what I can figure out from there.
Ricochet?
I'm
Yeah.
going with you to Hell's Paradise.
Oh,
For
God.
for one simple reason.
That
Reptiles have no libido. Anybody who is horny is not a reptile.
It's a very well
I
known
don't
fact.
argue with this kid's logic.
But wouldn't you be better to help Richard over here?
Nah, I'm an investigator. I could go on by myself. I'll get all the information I need from Vincent. You know what? I'll just make my way right now. You guys go do your thing. We'll meet up back here in, I don't know, a couple hours.
Sure.
And, Rondo, what was your plan again?
I was going to Hell's Paradise.
Hell's Paradise. Okay.
Come on, Foxy asked him, Nails, since he knows the area.
All right. So in that case, as you all begin to turn to leave, you can just see Investigator Cranston looking at you. He's like, I should just say before you leave, do remember that time is of the importance.
We'll keep that
Yeah.
in mind, boss.
what was his name? Hirohito?
Yeah, it's okay.
Hirohito Arakawa.
Well, Hiro Mojito, whatever he did, he must have done something to really piss in your Wheaties. Why is it you're willing to pay us so much to take what's in this for you to pay us this much to remove this thug?
Watch, just going to exit the building while he's doing that.
You exit the building.
Richard's already gone.
I have my own reasons. They are quite personal myself. Let's just say that even with you, I am acting as an intermediary for higher benefactors. They are the ones with the actual motivations. I am merely a messenger.
Understood. But as I'm sure you already know, being a PI, the more info I can get, the better a chance I have of wrapping this up.
Very well. Let's just say that these benefactors and their relationship with Mr. Arakawa is complicated. They do relate to his powers, at least in some degree, though I'm not entirely sure how. Perhaps that is a potential reason as to why he is so wrathful towards them. Other than that, I have no idea of it myself.
Have you ever faced a psychic before?
Perhaps once or twice, though thankfully they didn't have the skill to hone in their powers. Still, I must say they were quite a dangerous lot.
Come up with any ideas on how to disrupt their psychic abilities? By all means, give me a call.
I will certainly do that. I am not an expert in that field myself, but I will be sure to raise the question while you all are away.
Thank you. Hopefully when we next speak, I'll have some good news for you. I turn to leave.
I pray that's the case. And with that, you leave. All right.
Nails picks up and leaves.
All right. And with that, I'm assuming everyone pretty much leaves and goes their separate directions at this point.
Yeah,
so
well, me and Trippy were already gone through that entire thing.
Yeah.
So Foxy Nail is going to help us. Rick is going to the Corp, and I'm going to go to, or Richard B. Bigger is going to the Death Races to talk to Vincent.
All right. First off, I guess we'll go ahead and start with Hell's Paradise, since that's where most of everyone is going at the moment. Cool. All right. So you end up making your way into the, let me check my notes very quickly, into the Pleasure Lights district within town. You can see as you kind of like get into this part of Manhattan itself, the streets become a lot more compact. There's a lot more of partygoers, a lot more kind of like open alcohol and drug use on the streets. Some of it legal, some of it not necessarily. As you end up making your way to a rather tightly packed building with a glowing neon sign with pretty much a neon drenched lady kind of like kicking up one of her legs saying Hell's Paradise. And you can see two bouncers pretty much just at the front, kind of like overseeing the situation. As you come closer, one of them's like, "What's your business here? Got a reservation?"
Do I recognize either of them?
I'm guessing you've been to Hell's Paradise before.
Yes.
Let's see. So you likely would recognize them. These seem to be pretty much regular Hell's Paradise staff. Two bouncers here that are around here certain days of the week, certain time. They're just kind of like eyeing you up and down.
Okay. Chad, Brad, how you doing? How you doing, man?
One of them kind of cracks a smile. He's like, "Why do you keep calling me that?"
Oh, come on, man. Come on, because you're built like a Chad. I mean, that's why I call you Chad.
I mean, I do appreciate the compliment, but you really need to start addressing me seriously. Well, anyway, reservation?
No, not this time. I'm doing some other business. It's not with Belphegor this time.
I'm guessing you have some rather important business being here then. You don't exactly look like you're in your normal mood.
What? No, I'm in my normal mood. What? Do I sound not? Oh, I'm being a little too serious, aren't I?
A little bit, yeah. Normally you seem to be holding out your guitar a lot more and playing a tune or something along those lines. Usually when we meet.
I know, but I'm I'm not with the usual crew. But hey, do you mind just letting us in this one time? I ain't got any scratch on me right now, but I can give you a kickback later.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check, and with the whenever it asks you for a bonus, add 2 to it, just since you all know each other.
Okay. Do I roll 2d6s? One of them my regular roll, and then my Joker die. Is that how that works?
Yeah, that's how it works. And then whatever the higher roll is, add 2 to it.
Both 6s, so 8.
8.
You get to roll them twice, don't you? Roll it again, or
Oh.
roll it twice because it stacks.
Oh yeah. So pretty much whenever this is part of Savage Worlds, whenever you roll a die and it ends up having the max
Roll
face,
again.
roll again for the 1/6. Whenever you hit the max face, you roll again and just add that onto it. Technically, it can keep stacking up and up.
Yeah, so you got
That is
13
13 plus 2, so it's 15. Oh, Lord. So that's a success with 2 raises to it. So pretty much as soon as you kind of like start asking, please make an exception for us. They can tell you're clearly serious. One of them, they both kind of just immediately step to the side. They're like, yeah, I can see you're a bit more, you've got your business face on tonight. If you need any help, just make sure to call us.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm more surprised that you can see my face with my helmet on. But anyway, see you later. Finger guns. And like he just like strolls on in, and then he waves to who is it? It's Foxy and who else?
Luther's
Luther's
with you.
Luther. Oh,
Luther Jones.
he waves to Foxy and Luther to follow him in.
All right. As you all make your way into the club, Foxy, make me a notice roll.
Okay. I can just click on the notice thing and it'll roll automatically, don't it?
Yeah.
There you go.
You can see, like, as you're all kind of like filtering in, you're kind of like the last one in. You see both of the bouncers just kind of like eyeing you up as you pass along.
Just keep walking.
And with that, you end up coming into this just this wide area, and you see pretty much all throughout this club, it's just drenched in neon. There's kind of like different sort of like suspended like bird cages type. There are very much like sexy dancers, kind of like with monitors, kind of like put over their heads, sort of like as like headwear. This is kind of like showing like different virtual faces that kind of like occasionally will change over time. All the while they're just doing very much erotic dances. Light is just kind of like streaming throughout this wide building. There's a bar off to one side where one guy is just kind of like filling up drinks and shots for different people. There's a lot of dancers, and then there's just about as many who are actually like looking at the dance at these strippers. What do you all do?
I guess I'm going over to the bartender.
All right. You end up coming up to the bar. He's like, "Hey there, lady. What can I do for you?"
Is Irene or Insomnia in tonight?
Oh, yeah, certainly. She's not on stage just yet, but I can guarantee it. Here in the next 30 minutes, she's going to be the star of the show.
Thank you. She just walks off.
You want a drink or something?
Nope, good.
Hear nothing. What are the rest of you doing?
Nails also goes by the bar. and he also asked the same bartender the same question.
Oh God.
Well, certainly. Insomnia is going to be the star of the show here in the next half hour. Need a drink or something? Something to loosen up a bit?
Gee, what do you have?
Oh, we've got all sorts of liquors here. We've got whiskey, rum, some cocktails. What do you want?
Mm,
Ask for
You-
butt fart.
you know what? Usually I like to party, but not tonight. Do you have any water?
We should have something along those lines.
You
There
got
you
you
go.
got a bottle because I gotta take it around. Oh, thanks. And I hand him like a couple bucks.
Much
Credits.
obliged.
Yeah, credits. Yeah,
Yeah,
credit
so
bucks.
pretty much whenever you make the transfer, it's just kind of like you hold out your chit, kind of like
Yeah, dig it up.
type in 2 credits, makes the transfer. He just kind of gives you a nod.
Can Foxy look to where maybe where the where to enter where the dancers are in the back?
Are
She can
you? Is Foxy trying to go backstage?
Just trying to see even where it is in
Okay.
here.
Go ahead and give me an investigation check as you're trying to like filter your way throughout the crowd, look for an opening. Let's see. Who
And then-
else?
I try to wave over like Luther to me, and then I try to go and find a Foxy.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
follow him.
Hold
to
up.
Foxy.
Okay, hold up. So what's going on with this? It's supposed to be 2d6s, but on this, when you do it, it's just rolling 1.
It's just rolling 1.
Yeah, that's what it's been doing for all of us.
Oh, it's pretty much been doing all the math for you. Any aces or like whatever roll is higher, it just kind of like automatically does it. It'll tell you.
Yeah, but
if
how am
you-
I rolling 2 1s on d6s? And it's only rolling 1d6 on both of them?
Say it again.
Trait 1d6. It says
It's
4
rolling
1d6,
1d6.
trait 1d6.
Yeah. So it's
I think that means
it's telling
2
me that
1d6.
it magically rolls 1 on each.
Let's see.
It
And
says
if it did, it
floor d6 and another d6, so it takes the lowest of both d6s.
Right?
If you
Yeah.
hover over the number you rolled, then you see the
Yeah, it gives you the code of it.
Okay,
the
okay, I
programming.
get it. I get it. It's showing you
Yeah.
that you succeeded in both of these rolls.
Right. It's not actually showing you the numbers. It's showing whether you succeeded or failed. If it's a success, it shows you how many raises you got on top of that, if any.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all it's doing.
That's why I was just confused.
Okay.
It looked like it was taking 2 1
Welcome,
rolls,
Gordon.
and I was like, what?
Yeah. So you're pretty much all kind of like regrouping as one, following Foxy, and you end up getting a success with a raise. So it takes you about like 5 or 10 minutes, but you're pretty much able to kind of like see among the crowd, among all the sort of like dancing lights. There in sort of like a far corner is just kind of like a small little doorway that some of the waitresses just kind of like filter in occasionally, maybe a couple dancers or something like that. You can see that each one that passes through, they flash a key card before opening the door and then entering or exiting.
Is also any bouncers that are doing that as well?
Yeah,
Or
you
they
can
would
see the occasional bouncer doing it as well. They're about as frequent as the dancers who are going backstage.
Can I go up and find a bouncer?
Sure. I won't make you roll. It's pretty easy to find one that's just kind of like walking along or standing nearby.
So I go up to him, whoever it is. Be like, oh, I forgot my key card at home. Can you please key me in to the back?
The man just looks at you behind sunglasses, cocks an eyebrow. Go ahead and give me a. Let me see what the proper check for that is. What would that be? I believe that would be persuasion you'd be doing.
Now, would it be?
give him a
okay,
+5 modifier?
I might have to do this one manually because it's a D4 and D6, but I got a +4 to charisma on that, minus and not that -2, so it'd be a +2.
Right. You're going to be adding your +4 on top of that.
Oh, I can do that automatically?
Yeah.
Okay. Fuck.
It's still a
God damn it.
success. All right. He just looks at you. He's like, "You're a terrible liar. You know that, right?"
Sure am.
You know what? I'll make an exception for you just because I like helping out pretty ladies who need my help. So just between you and me, he hands you the key card.
Thank you.
Don't mention it. Smiles.
And I just wave at when he walks off, wave at Nails and Luther. Come on.
Definitely booby traps. Totally booby traps.
Let's go.
Psychological booby trap right there.
I follow on a safe distance in case they go off.
Okay.
All right, and then I slide in right after Luther, right from the shadows.
All right. Let's see. So Foxy, what are you doing?
I guess we're gonna start looking for or find one of the dancers and ask if where Insomnia is, Irene.
Okay. Are you leading that charge, or is anyone else asking around?
Luther is not the charge-taking type. He follows.
All right.
Nails is gonna find I don't know what you would call them, but one of the let me think about this. I was gonna say to ask one of the managers, but then that might blow our cover.
Yeah. You're gonna play it.
So
So
I catch up to Foxy and say, okay, let's play it like this, that you're new here and I'm your bodyguard. How about that?
I guess.
And then Luther's your assistant? Yeah, let's go with that.
I'd really just say water boy, but okay.
Manager? Oh, sorry, I'm not in scene. My bad.
No, it's fine talking. It's just whenever you're talking, it's not going to be in character.
Well, let's go for it, Nails.
All right.
Remember, we're on a time limit, so we got 20 minutes to do this.
All right. So it doesn't take long before you see a couple of dancers starting to make their way towards the back room.
Ladies. You
Both
know
of
where
them
Irene is?
Go ahead and give me a streetwise check, asking them, because they don't exactly look like they look like they may or may not be able to help. So go ahead and make a roll for that.
Ah, shit. Oh, fuck.
Still a success, though. And well, you don't exactly look like you belong here back in the back. But
I'm a new girl. Just got in.
Eyes you up. She's like, all right. Well, I can tell you enough about where Insomnia is. She's in the far back. She's dressing up and everything, preparing for a big debut tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah, don't mention it.
Just walk.
She still kind of looks at you
Yeah, fuck.
suspiciously.
Nails looks at one of the girls and does the I'm watching you with his fingers type of move or gesture.
She just looks exasperated whenever you do it, but you still look cool doing it.
All right, let's head to the fucking room.
All right. Is Luther following, or is Luther doing something different?
Luther is following.
All right.
He is not looking at the women. He is not interested in replicants.
Well, there are androids, so I mean there is that.
No. He is sure they are replicants.
Oh, I see.
Whether the rest of the culture believes they exist or not, he knows they are replicants.
All right. Well, as you all are filtering into the back room, we'll go ahead and temporarily swap perspectives to Ricochet. So, Ricochet, you end up coming along closer to the EvoCorp labs, or at least where you presume the building to
called
be.
on me. You called on me right when I stuffed a Trisket in my mouth.
Oh, I'm sorry. If you need me to, I can swap perspective to Trippy.
No, that's okay. What do I already know in character about EvoCorp?
About EvoCorp? Go ahead and make me a knowledge roll if you have any knowledge about it. If you want to make a knowledge roll, you can. Otherwise, I can tell you just what you'd
Would that be
bait.
under skills again?
Yeah, it'd be the skill. It's probably an untrained skill roll.
Ooh.
So I don't know
that's a
squat.
failure. So,
Listen, you know. Go
so
ahead.
you don't know much
I-
at all about EvoCorp. You have seen advertisements for them every here and there, so you would know enough to know that their basic mantra is pretty much speeding up humanity's evolution. Cyber augmentations, health benefits. That's really what it seems like their goal is. You know that
Yeah,
through what you
So they're a
see.
medical technology company.
Yes.
So you know their building is square.
More or less.
Okay, now in this advanced tech day and age, do we have cell phones in our pocket where we can just go on the internet and look stuff up on the way?
Not
Do we have that ability
necessarily.
or not really?
There are terminal kiosks where you can access the internet through that, but it's very, very rudimentary. It's pretty well a serious downgrade from what you had heard of from over a century prior. The biggest advancement since then has been cyberspace, but accessing the internet normally, you pretty much need to clue into one of these terminal kiosks. Like put in a couple of credits and then you can use it.
Good to know.
Okay. Have I ever heard the name Maxwell? Can't read my own writing. Yeah. Have I ever heard the name Harold Maxwell before?
Harold Maxwell. You would have not. Not by default.
Okay. Are any of these terminals along my way to the EvoCorp?
Yes, easily. They're pretty much like phone booths or something like that. You can pretty much find one that's unoccupied. It costs you like 2 credits to clue into it.
All right, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to look up Harold Maxwell. Anything I can find on him, within a practical amount of time. Obviously, I can't sit there and read his life story, if that's even available.
All right. In that case, go ahead and make me either give me an investigation check. That would be closest to what you're doing.
All right, just got to find it. Hang on.
Yep, that's exactly what I'm going to do. You can see.
I'm not seeing that over here.
It's between
it's
tracking and repair.
Investigation.
Yeah,
It's close to the bottom.
so many.
Oh, found it. Okay, yep.
Yeah, like 2/3 down. Yeah, you got it.
And that's a
just close.
success. All right. So pretty much as soon as you log into this terminal, start searching. It's a little hard to find information on Harold Maxwell from what you can tell. The name isn't exactly familiar. You do a little bit of searching though, and it really sounds like whatever you are able to find about him, it's more or less like he's inextricably tied to pretty much the government of Nexus City itself. Like he's pretty much like a proper representative, like more or less along those lines.
All right. I don't even have any way of knowing if he's at Evo Core right now or not.
Yeah, it's really hard to tell that just
And I
through
don't know if
the
they just
searching
take
the public
walk-ins.
domain.
All right, so he's a bit of a political business figure, not like a politician, but kind of almost in
It
that
really
lobby
seems more kind
position
of
where
like a
he's bigwig
high-ranking Fed.
with corporations and speaks to the government.
Yeah, from what you can tell, there doesn't seem to be any explicit corporate affiliation, but there is kind of like a clear like Nexus City government affiliation. Like that's the information you find about him.
When there didn't happen to be an address with that info, was there? A home address?
Not necessarily. Pretty much all the info you know is more or less what
Okay.
Investigator Cranston told you, that he's most likely at Evo Corp.
All right. Let's see. So I look like a regular dude on the street.
Yep.
I'm thinking if I walk in there and say, hey, I need to talk to this guy, they're going to laugh me out of that lobby.
You don't know until you
I
try.
need a box.
That'll be your
No,
solid.
Are you
it's a
going to
box.
solid snake this?
Solid snake it all the way.
No.
Try it.
I'm not that agile. Pop on, crawl around the halls in a cardboard box. You can't see me.
You could just go on there, bounce the wall, and start beating people up and asking
No.
questions.
No, I'm not going to solid snake this.
Shoot
I'm
it
going to
up.
dominoes this shit.
All right.
I'm going to FedEx it. I got a package requires an in-person.
I see. So are you trying to mail yourself into the place?
No. I'm going in like a FedEx type guy.
Oh, I
don't
see,
know
I
what
see.
This
So
city's
you're-
equivalent would be,
like
but parcel. I'm
private
going in with
courier?
a package. Yes,
I see what you're
saying
doing now.
this requires an in-person signature.
There you go.
Okay.
Perfect. Try
All
it.
right. In that case, are you just looking for any old box? Because there are several boxes lining the streets. Or are you looking for an actual package?
Something I could pass off as an important package and not just some ratty box. I also need to have a decent idea of where it came from, because first question they ask me is who's sending it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you have a couple options. You have a decent knowledge that there's sort of like an equivalent to FedEx in this world where it's like people are getting packages mailed into them. There are also plenty of untended packages along the streets. You could probably stuff something in there if you want to do something along those lines.
All right. And also, Evo Core, do they have what other cities do they have offices in?
You're not entirely sure. That's the thing, because a lot of the public knowledge is contained within each primary mega city. You know that they're a major force in Nexus City. As for the other mega cities, it's a little debatable.
Because I was thinking if there was an Evo Corp branch in Mega City next door, I could have a package from that address for him. Something that would actually make sense if I'm questioned.
The honest answer is Ricochet doesn't know himself,
guess-
so you can certainly try.
Drop another 2 quarters in that kiosk and find out if I can
Cha-chunk.
get that kind of info.
All right. Go ahead and make me another
What
investigation
was
roll.
that?
Go ahead and make an investigation roll to search
would
for
be
that
the
info.
Untrained.
It would, yeah.
Oh wait,
it would
got
be
it.
the.
Okay.
Ooh, that's a failure.
No bueno.
Yeah, you're honestly not sure. Even despite scouring the net, there was nothing that gave you a clear indication as to what other cities they have a presence in.
Gotta wing it.
What? All right. Do I have a box that looks presentable?
There are several empty boxes along the streets. You could try using one of those if you so wish.
All right. I got to come up with a legitimate looking label. Wouldn't happen to be a Kinko's nearby, would there?
Let's not go into too much detail. Just grab a box and go.
I just need a label.
Yeah,
You
you
gotta
can-
smooth talk it. You gotta talk them.
you can try
They're not
buying a
allowed to
label
use a
maker
label.
somewhere.
Eyes
But
on.
other than that,
Eyes only.
you may have to wing it. All right.
Alrighty. All right. If I have everything set, I guess I go into the Evo Corp lobby.
All right. So you end up making your way over to Evo Corp.
How much time has gone by? I don't know.
It takes about a solid 30
Yeah.
minutes of walking through the streets in order to get there. Pretty much like you could go by traffic, but it's not really ideal in a place like this. You eventually end up coming up to this like pretty high rising square building. Place seems to be pretty locked
Yeah.
down from what you can tell. There's just a guard up at the front, kind of like patrolling right in front of this wall. He's like, "Got business here?"
In fact, I should probably approach him rather than the door.
Right. He's in front of the door.
Hi,
Behind
how you
it's kind
doing?
of like,
I got a package here for Harold Maxwell, and he requires an in-person signature. Could you potentially page whoever that is?
let me take a look at the package for a second. Ends up starting to inspect it. How did you dress up the package? Did you just kind of like did you try fixing it up into something presentable? Did you put something inside of it, or is it just an empty box?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, there's something inside of it.
What did you put in it?
A rock.
A rock?
A rock.
Why not? Perfect.
Did you tape it up? Or is it like
It was
easily
either that or
openable?
a weapon, but I thought if they x-rayed it, they'd take it wrong away.
He kind of like moves it around. He's like,
Wait, what do you think's gonna happen when they X-ray it and they see a fucking rock?
It's a mineral sample.
I don't
It's
know.
a rock.
Oh,
It's
I was thinking about putting a gun in there for him to
Don't
protect
agitate the
himself
rock.
with, but I figured if they
Wait, would
x-rayed
it
that,
even
they'll
be a
take it
rock?
wrong.
Wouldn't it be like a just?
You
a
need
piece
to
of
start freaking
concrete
out
or
once he
some
starts
shit?
shaking it like it's gonna blow up. You know? Stop from shaking it. Like, oh shit, what are you doing?
I think he's gonna have to make a roll.
Hold
for
on, does the
this.
guard take it and start shaking it?
Oh my god, what? Okay. So he's just kind of like taking the package you have, just kind of like holding up, inspecting it. He notices a little bit of a shake, kind of looks at it suspiciously a little bit, before running it through a metal detector.
Dude, be careful with it. Don't get me in trouble.
As it goes through.
Don't be rough with it. I don't want to get in trouble for anything damaged, please.
Yeah, I'll try. It goes through the metal detector.
Thank you.
And luckily enough, it just seems to be a regular rock, so there's no real hints of metal in it. He's like, seems well enough to me. Carry on. And with that, he ends up giving you a clearance 5 badge, a clearance 1 badge. And he's like,
Okay.
this
Where
should
am I
only
going?
give you the absolute necessary security in the building. Do not deviate from the path. And then the gate just kind of like steadily opens.
All right. Thank you. I assume he gave me a mark out for which way I'm supposed to go.
Yeah. He's pretty
path
much
from
just
which I shall
indicating
not
towards
de-
like a bright red line just saying follow that line. Do not deviate from it.
Wait, did he tell him what the room number was? Or where the office is for the dude?
He said, so pretty much like as you're going in, he's like package drop off is just over there. You'll find it right in the actual lobby, desk to the right.
Awesome. So
And
I
with
proceed
that,
to package drop off.
Gate closes
And
behind
is there
you.
somebody there?
Yeah. So there's just kind of like a secretary. She seems to have sort of like light augmentations. Hair's done back up in a bun. She's just kind of like filing through paperwork through different packages as you kind of like come up to her desk. She just kind of gives you sort of like a bit of a glare.
Like, this is bad timing, I don't want to be bothered type of glare?
Yeah, very much that type of glare.
Thank God it's not the dude, you're so retarded.
No, that's coming next. Just wait till I start talking. Wait, what time of day is it? Morning, afternoon?
So it's always night, but
yeah, it's always dark. There's no time.
Time-wise, it would be sort of like mid-afternoon, sort of like 2:30 or 3 in the afternoon.
So I'll walk up and say, try and put on as pleasant a smile as my ugly face could muster and say, good afternoon. I'm trying not to take up too much of your time. I got a package for, what's his name again? Harold Maxwell. It requires an in-person signature. Could you possibly page him?
Yeah, I can do that. She ends up taking the package from you. Inspects it a little bit, though not quite as thoroughly as security. He's like, I'll be sure he gets it.
I cannot release this until I have his signature.
Hand it over. I'm guessing she ends up like signing off on kind of like a piece of paper or something. How are you doing it?
I think you confused frequency.
Sorry, you broke up. I couldn't understand you.
Oh, so are you like handing her a piece of paper to sign, or are you just having her like sign a package or something?
No, I'm not even handing her the package. I'm just holding the package and saying I need an in-person signature. I can't relinquish the package without.
All right.
If he's not here, I could come back another day.
Well, let me see. I haven't seen Harold
shift this forward.
Yeah, I'll be sure to keep it on. I'll be sure to keep it on standby for him right here. I'll be sure he gets it though. Here, if you need me to sign off on the signature, I can do that myself.
Unfortunately, I'm not authorized to relinquish it to anyone but him. However, do I have a way, like a number to leave with her? Do we have phones?
So yeah, you'd probably have like a local like phone number in order to leave her. So you could do that.
I write down my number and say I have a few more other deliveries in this area. I should be around here for another hour. If he shows up, please contact me and I'll bring this right in. If not, I'll try again tomorrow.
Certainly. I'll be sure to. I'm sure if whenever he gets it, I'll be sure to give you a call if something goes wrong.
Thank you. I think I hope you have a good rest of your day.
Likewise. All right, what are you doing?
I turn to leave.
All right. While you're turning to leave, we'll go ahead and swap perspective over to Trippy. So Richard B. Bigger, you are coming along to the Death Race Arena. It is quite a large stadium. It costs you about 15 credits to actually get into the place. But once in, you can see that the whole area is pretty widely frequented by people. There is a whole ton of people here watching the death races go on. What do you do?
First, he's going to stop by a public terminal, get more information on Vincent Wallace.
Okay. So as you kind of like clue into a terminal, that's 2 credits. Go ahead and make me an investigation roll to see what you can find out about Vincent Wallace.
And let me minus 2 credits. 2 credits.
All right, so that's a success. So you end up searching up what you can about Vincent Wallace. It's not terribly hard to figure out that he is a pretty big name in the whole realm of EvoCorp. He's one of the main leading CEOs, like within Nexus City itself. He is very much a big business tycoon figure. Huge
I'm going to get
charisma.
a photo, right? I know what he looks like. He'll be there.
Yeah, so pretty much he has like blonde, slick back hair. He's very much like a successor. Very handsome. Just kind of like sleek business attire. And you've gleaned enough about him to know that he is a pretty big fan of gambling.
Yeah, hold on, making notes.
Basically Richard, but better.
All right.
From what you can tell, he's not completely in the hole when it comes to gambling, as far as you know.
All right. Cool. So he logs off that, and the next thing he's doing is finding out where the booth is to place bets.
Right. All right. It doesn't take you much long at all to find the public booth. You can see just a man kind of like up there. It's very much like an android. He's like, "What can I do for you, sir?"
All right. Who's got the most well-balanced odds of winning right here?
Well, currently number 22 is striking a quite dashing lead, though the odds are constantly shifting every other minute.
22, huh?
That is your best bet at this moment in time.
All right, give me 1,000 credits on number 22.
Very well, sir. Ends up taking your money, make the transfer. He ends up handing you a ticket. He's like, may the odds be in your favor, sir. Salutes you, end up going on.
All right. So Richard takes his betting ticket and goes to the platform to watch that next race, but he's also looking around the crowd for Vincent.
All right. Go ahead and make me just a streetwise check as you're kind of like filtering through the crowd. It's a wide place, and you're kind of covering a fair bit of ground. And that's a success. So you're kind of like scanning around, sort of like as you're kind of like moving along with your ticket. You can see the actual death races going on within this large central arena. It is quite a sight, but to behold. It's this huge circuit, as you can see, like over a dozen different racers on bikes, just kind of like going along these magnetically attached strips. The course actually does loops and sort of like defies gravity, F-Zero style, as like here and there explosions are just like colliding. It's pretty much pure pandemonium.
Now I want to
only in
drive.
entertainment form.
Yeah. Richard's just got a giant smile on his face. He's loving it.
It's
I love my job.
wonderful. As you're kind of like moving along to find your seat, you end up settling down not far away from you at all. You end up seeing a rather familiar figure. It seems to be the big honcho himself, surrounded by security, but it's still him. He seems to be shouting just kind of like up and down, cheering a lot louder than anyone else.
Okay. So he's just gonna sit here and like watch this race go by. He really wants to know if he's gonna win this bet. Actually, like Vincent's second priority right now.
Right. For him, it's pretty much like he's just as eager as you to watch the actual gambling go on. All right. In that case, let's see. Let's go ahead and see how well your luck actually is.
I know. I want to see if I actually double this.
Oh, interesting. So pretty much as the races end up going on, 22 kind of like speeds down behind, just as two others kind of like speed up and go along. One of them ends up pulling out Newsy, just kind of like firing along the wheels. They kind of like pretty much like the wheels go out. He just twirls away down into a pit below, just explodes. But right as he's about to go near the finish line, 22 just zooms past right at the last moment, crossing the finish line. It looks like you actually won the bet.
Yeah! Hell yeah! Can't be losing all the time. Thailand,
right
here
next
I
to
come.
you. Right next to you, you can hear Vincent Wallace just going, "Oh fuck no! I was betting on number 11. God damn it!"
So yeah, that's when Richard takes his opportunity. 11. Why would you bet on 11?
Well, I mean, you know, he was the one firing at everyone. I mean, whenever everybody's focusing on winning, it's the guy who pulls out a gun who clearly gets the advantage. Don't you know that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's how it works, huh? Bigger the gun, that's how it wins. I don't think
that's
how
how
it
you
works.
get an edge in this world.
Wallace.
Gotta learn how to take advantage of the situation when you can, you know?
Oh, I know how that works, Vincent.
So, who did you bet for?
22.
22, you lucky son of a bitch.
Am I? Or did I just do my research, Vincent?
Kind of eyes you. He's like, I like you. You seem like you got your shit together.
Otter, come on.
Is he that stupid? He's pretty
Fucking
dumb.
retarded.
All right.
Oh my god.
He's like,
hey,
what's your name,
These
son?
guys your friends? How about we go get a drink and talk somewhere private? Your friends are looking a little intimidating.
Give me a persuasion roll, but go ahead and add 4 to it.
God, we end up with a dumb fuck. Vincent.
4.
Jesus.
He's like, you know what? A little bit of privacy. It's not going to hurt. Hey, security, hang back a bit. I'm going to go off and get drinks with this guy. And with that, he follows you over to a local bar area. He's like, bartender, I need a drink after all this. Give one to my friend here on the house. He's like, aye, boss. And with that,
No. This
you end
guy's
up getting a free
big
cocktail.
time. It's on me.
What? You serious? I got way more money than you.
Yeah. I know, but you just lost. Still has
Well,
to clue on to that. So funny.
Well, in that case, I mean, you know what? Sure. Bet earnings and all. Yeah, I'll let him pay for it. It's like, so what's your secret?
Yeah.
What makes you so good at gambling?
First of all, you got to be a gambler to gamble. If you're not a gambler at heart, you're never going to win. You'll just be a loser.
Obviously.
And you got to know when to take risks and when not to. Like I'm taking a big risk right now with you, Vincent Wallace.
Yeah, I know that feeling. Yeah, I'll tell you what about risks. We take risks every day, especially with someone like me and my line of work. Risks all over the place. I even say there's some kind of killer on the loose. Some cyber psycho, some people call him. Can you believe I actually knew that guy one time? Fucking hell.
You mean Hirohito?
Yeah, that's the one. Hey, you know,
How
you
long
know
have you known
something
him?
about him yourself?
Well, I'm gonna come clean, Vincent. Now, if you haven't noticed, I already know who you are, and I heard you got a cyber psych problem.
Hmm. He raises an eyebrow. He's like, continue.
I'm here to make that problem go away for you. But I need more information about Hirohito and what the hell happened. So I'm gonna
He
ask
raises
you a few questions and you can't lie.
he raises two eyebrows. He's like, who sent you?
Do I want to give that information out or not? Nah, let's just say someone, a middleman for Evo Corp that wants to protect, a few assets and private information getting leaked to public.
Give me a persuasion roll for that. Another one.
No mod.
No mod. He just kind of like puts an arm around you. He's like, you know what? I can see why you beat me why you actually won and I lost. You've got your shit together. I like that. Well, if you need more information, then I can give you all the information you need. You see, between you and me, Mr. Arakawa, he and I work together, though not in the way you and I would normally associate it. You see, do you know much about Cyberpsych's son?
Not really. Explain it to me.
Well,
Like I'm a 5-year-old.
Cyberpsychs, there are some humans out there who have that psychic ability inherently, though for most of us, it comes out erratically. There's a bit of chaos to it. We at Evo Corp, we're trying to hone that, to focus it. Now, it's not an exact science yet, but we're on our way. Hirohito, he was a big experiment. Guy had a lot of potential. The thing is, he couldn't handle it. At least that's what my scientists told me. And somehow he escaped. Now he's out loose. He's looking for revenge for you and me. Well, specifically for me.
Yeah, leave me out of this. I'm trying to avoid getting killed during this little investigation here. That's why
Well,
I'm trying to avoid getting killed during all my investigations. So I'm still alive.
Got a good head on your shoulders. I can
when
tell you this.
Did he snap? When did he escape?
It was around a month ago. Ever since then, it's been nothing but wreaking havoc. Our lead scientists, they've been dropping off one by one. Dead. Either shot, stabbed, or worse. Some say
What do you
I'm
mean,
next.
worse?
Well, are you sure you want me to get into the details about that, son? I'll
I'm an
just say
investigator.
this.
Details are how I do my living.
Well, mutilation is quite an intricate way of death, and there's a lot of different ways it can happen. Decapitation is probably the most common, but there have been worse on top of that. I don't want to get into any more of it myself, but you get the picture.
He got a grudge.
Yeah, you could say that. I don't know if it's against me necessarily, me or Agent Maxwell, but we do our best.
Do you have any idea what this grudge could be about?
Well, it's pretty obvious. Let's just say these experiments weren't exactly too kind on him as a person. You see, whenever we're trying to focus this ability, these psychic abilities, it involves a certain degree of nanotech. We're trying to correct the imbalance within the brain with these abilities. Try and form a symbiosis in order for them to control it. You see, Hirohito's ability is so great that we had to dig a little deeper than most, you know? And, well, he snapped. Couldn't take it. Now he's after my head.
He's not after only your head. There's others as well.
Yeah, I can tell you enough. He's after Agent Maxwell. He's a big head of a lot of this, really. Has a lot of connections. Word
Tell me
is
about
he's also
them.
after Insomnia. Even though it's been a
Who's
little
Agent
while I've
Maxwell?
talked to her, that bitch.
That bitch. Tell me about Agent Maxwell.
Well, Agent Maxwell, he's got affiliations with the Nexus City government here. I only have so many connections with it myself, but him, he's pretty high ranking. Lot of influence, lot of money. And he came to me. He told me a lot about. He's pretty much the head behind this project. He said he had certain interests involved internationally. Well, ever since then, that's kind of clued into a lot of the experimentation we've done now. He's proposed a lot of the ideas, given us a lot of the actual technology to do what we've needed to do. Amazing man. No, I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of afraid of the guy. But hey, that's business, you know?
Yeah, I know. Business.
Just business.
Do you have any idea where Hirohito could be right now?
It's a bit of a stretch, though. I've heard there's been a lot of commotion going down near Foundation. It's under the Brooklyn Bridge. Big shithole down there, bud. There's a lot of thugs and gangs around there. Hell, I've even heard there's mutant crocodiles running around. Funny thing, huh? Well, I mean, if I have any bet, law enforcement scoured that place 100 times, but if I had a hunch, he's probably down there.
Foundation, huh?
Yeah.
Let me think. So let me get this straight. About a month ago, Hirohito snaps after all the unethical procedures Evo Corp has been doing on him, kills a few scientists, disappears into the blue, and has been popping in and out, murdering everyone involved in this experiment.
Yep. Worst part is we programmed him to have a certain psychic imprint. That's the real beauty, you know? Something completely unique to Arakawa. He can actually project his conscience onto other people and enslave them. They completely lose their own sense of self, but I mean, in a way, I guess you could say the process is permanent. Everyone he affects, they're effectively brain dead. Only listen to what he's doing. Kind of sad, you know? You never know whenever they could strike. It could be anyone, any place, anybody he's met. They could be after you and me.
Mind control, huh? So, would you say Hirohito's not doing the murders himself? He's enslaving other people to do the killings.
Oh, rest assured, it's him. It's just he's doing this
It's
war
him
by
himself.
proxy.
Interesting. And there's nothing that could be done against this mind control. You have no other turn off switches, safeguards, counteractions, some other piece of technology that will help us stop it.
He shakes his head. If there's technology to do it, we haven't invented it yet.
Do you think Harold would know about this technology?
It's possible. You could probably ask him. Should be able to find him over in the Evil Corp building. That's where he spends most of his time.
Is he easy to get a hold of?
Yeah, you could say that. Although, gotta have the right connections in order to talk to him. Luckily, between you and me,
Connections like
I'll
you,
put in
huh?
a good word for you.
All right. Tell you what. Tell him I'm heading over there to talk with him.
Yeah, I'll be sure to send him word. Go ahead and make me a notice check.
For no particular reason.
No particular reason.
Hmm. Hmm.
Right as you're kind of like talking with him, you notice that someone actually sits down right next to you, like on your other side. It doesn't seem to be doing anything conspicuous, but as the conversation goes along, you can kind of like get a feeling that there's something weird about this guy right behind you.
All right, so after the conversation with Vincent kind of slows down, I turn around to this guy that just like he's right there, like the next seat, right behind me, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, buddy, I don't know if it's your first time at the bar, but there's usually etiquette about personal space. I think you can move down a couple seats. My friend and I here are having a conversation.
With that, as you turn around, you notice two things. The person you were talking to is the android you had addressed earlier, you had actually bought the ticket from. He gives you the same blank stare. Second thing you notice, he has a gun pointed straight towards you.
Oh, shit.
And with that, we're going to swap back over to everyone in Hell's Paradise.
Nice. That was a good
So,
scene.
yeah,
I like it.
We're making it into Irene's room.
Yeah, so by this point, you're pretty much knocking on her door. It's the three of you, and you can just hear say, "Come in."
Open the door and walk in.
You see her. She's in short. You end up seeing kind of like this pale blonde beauty, pretty much like rather lavishly dressed, very scanty clothing. But you can tell she's also kind of like doing her makeup. Just as you're entering, she's like, "What is it? Wait. Who are you?"
We're just people that have been hired to help protect you, and we need to find out some information about a Hirioto.
Oh no,
No
you're
Hirohito.
Yeah, Hirioto.
you're not affiliated with them, are you?
No, we're not affiliated. We just we need to find out where he is.
All right then. What do you want to know?
How do you know him?
Well, I can't say I have a direct connection myself, but I have no connection with Hirohito myself, but I know Vincent Wallace. We both knew each other. It's a little complicated.
Business or pleasure?
Yes.
Why would Hirioto want to harm you?
Well, I was the one who actually set up I was the one who set up the connection before. I was the one who suggested that that Vincent reach out to Agent Maxwell. You see, he and I have relations in the past. And well, I knew that he was a powerful man. He has a lot of influence and even a connection to this to the shield around the world. Well, men like that don't come around every day, and I'm sure there was a vested interest between the both of them. And well, one thing led to another. Then, well, do you have any other questions? Am I free to go now?
Do I need to do a notice check to see if something's not fucked up with her?
Let's see. Trying to think of what the skill would be for that. It would probably be notice.
I turn.
Would it be under Streetwise?
What is it, Rondo?
I turn to Luther and say, check the place for bombs. Just like I say it in kind of like almost like a whispered tone.
Luther walks right up to this woman, looks straight at her chest, and checks if those are bombs.
He's got to check for booby traps. He's got to check for booby traps for the rest of the game.
All right, go ahead and make me an agility check.
Traps
Foxy,
everywhere.
Foxy, it's really hard to have much of an idea as to what she's actually thinking. You can tell that despite her line of work, Insomnia seems to be the type of person who can really mask their emotions quite effortlessly.
Yeah, and Luther just figured out if she got bomb tits or not.
Nails is gonna
D, Aries.
But
Nails is gonna try
why
to
am
pull,
I making the
pull Luther
agility
off.
check? He's just looking.
Yeah, you succeeded.
She rolled a fucking 1.
So pretty much like she's about to like put up her hands whenever all of a sudden you cup her breasts with like both your hands. You can tell there's just like this look of shock, but also just kind of like you fucker. But you can tell pretty quickly these are real.
I turn around to the
Giggity.
others. Okay, those are bombs, but not the explosive kind.
No, Nails like
It's a
rips
compliment.
Luther off of
It's a
him.
compliment.
He's like, "What the fuck, man? Just what the fuck?"
Bombshells.
And Foxy just looks over at her and says, I'm sorry. He's a little bit retarded. Okay.
Was that
I'm
really?
also pretty sure she is not a replicant.
Was that really
Like
part
I
of
Keep
the
said,
thinking
investigation?
of Dan Aykroyd in Sneakers.
Yeah, sort of like that.
I like. Is there a chair in the room or anything like that?
Yeah, there are about 3 chairs in the room. She's
Okay.
sitting in one of them, but there are 2 spares.
Okay, I like throw Luther like into one of them, like throw it into him so that like he sits down in it, not like push him like right into it. Like, you know what I'm trying to say?
Oh no.
What?
I think my internet connection got out there for a second. Say it again.
No, I just try to like sit him down into one of the chairs or like push him into one of the chairs so that he's just like sitting down.
All right. Luther,
Yeah.
are you trying to
Luther
resist this
sits
at all?
down and reaches out for her makeup bottles, unscrews each one, and smells for poison.
Okay. Give me another investigation to see if you find anything.
Any modifier?
No modifier, just a regular roll.
Nails pulls out a what is it? Oh, what are they called? Damn it. A calling card? No. A business card. He pulls out like a business card that says like Belphegor on it and says, "Hey, look, I'm really sorry about my friend. Here, just ask for Nails when you call the number on the back, and we can get you free tickets."
She takes the card, kind of like just like a look of disgust. She's like, "Thanks." She just
I
pockets it.
turn back to her and tell her, "Ma'am, I'm pretty sure there are no poisons among your utensils, among your things."
It doesn't
Like I
seem like
said,
any
he's
of
a
it's
bit retarded.
poisonous, but it still seems like it was made by the lizard people. Like their fingerprints are all over this.
Yes, it's full of artificial pheromones.
Lizard prince.
Irene, why would Hirioto want to kill you?
Well, I would have to say it's really my involvement with the project itself. I guess you could say I'm the one who set it up in the first place. I'm the one who got them both to work together. And I'm more than willing to bet that Hirohito worked about it. I've worked with a lot of the scientists. You see, I want to help develop myself to gain an immunity against this hive parasite that's infesting the world. I want to be among the first of those who will truly succeed humanity. And well, I think Arakawa caught on to that. I spent too much time in the lab, and well, here I am.
You do know that the hive parasite is not alien, as they tell you. It was lab grown by us.
God damn it.
Is this the one time where like his conspiracy theory is actually true?
She just kind of like gives you a look. She's like, right.
Irene,
Okay.
how safe is Evo Corp compared to this fine establishment?
Well, nowhere. I am going to be honest. Nowhere is safe. I've had to be on my guard myself, but I haven't seen any signs of suspicion. Not yet, anyway. But
Well-
you can tell as she kind of says that, she pulls out a small pistol from like, kind of like a sock. She's like, I come prepared.
Well, would you like us to escort you to Evo Corp? We have some questions for Harold as well.
Well,
And I'd feel much greater knowing we could escort you there so you'd be safe.
but I have my show I need to get to.
I think you can miss out on one show.
Give me a persuasion check.
Luther looks at both of them. Hey, she can take over for you.
Yes.
3 raises. She's like, very well. You make a compelling enough argument. I will be sure to cooperate.
Alrighty. Gather what you need and we'll head out. Unless
Alright.
Nails, you got a question for anymore.
No. I just really don't want to go back into Evil Labs, but that's a different story.
All right. As soon as you all do that, hear a knock on the door.
Foxy grabs her gun and pulls it.
Okay, I head towards the door with my guitar in hand.
All right. Are you opening the door, or are you just kind of like barricading yourselves near it?
I motion to everyone to hold up their gun, and then I grab the door handle, twist it, and like open it slowly.
Okay. As you open the door, you can pretty much hear Insomnia just more or less saying, she's just like, "Oh, Judy, it's you. What are you doing here?" She's just like, "Come on, you need to come with me. It's a matter of urgent business. I need to talk to you now."
Don't trust her. Don't trust her. She's a replicant.
Is that what you're saying?
Yep, he's shouting it. That's not the girl you know.
What? But it's me. I'm Judy.
Where is the real Judy?
Oh, God.
Make me a notice
And
check.
I punch her in the face.
Okay.
Wow.
Foxy screams to Nails, fucking get him. Grab him.
With my like one letting go of the doorknob with my one free hand, I shove him like out of the way.
Okay.
Do you want me to roll for that, or
Go ahead and roll a fighting check for the punch at least.
Doppelganger.
Nothing is happening.
Roll again for the 6. Roll again for the 6.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. That's what? 17. So that's a success and 3 raises. So pretty much like not only you pretty much like just as soon as this conversation is going on, you pretty much just round and like say, "This is not the real her." Just like slug her, just pretty much like bringing her like all the way back. Her back kind of like hits the ground. But as that happens, you can see that previously in her hand was an actual desert eagle, and it flies away towards one side of the wall.
What the fuck?
Foxy
And
keeps her
Insomnia's
gun
like,
aimed
"Judy, what the?" And all of a sudden, you can see that Judy is trying to like go ahead and get for the gun, though she's very clearly at a disadvantage.
Foxy shoot.
Foxy shooting. All right.
Yep,
we're
Foxy shoot.
go ahead and make a shooting roll for this, and then we're going to go ahead and draw initiative.
Okay. Where's my shooting?
So you're shooting
It's telling me
Judy,
to check a target, a token target.
A token target.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's expecting you to have like a battle map set up or something. Is there any
Yeah.
way you can just kind of click away from it?
Let me see if I can. Fuck. Well, it's a D8 and a D6, so I just roll.
Oh wait,
90.
just click shooting twice, and that goes past it.
It's saying Joker dice. What? Did
Uh,
I put no?
but
I
no.
put yes. Isn't Joker dice my D8?
Oh, it may be. Just put yes.
Okay. Fuck, hold up. Yeah, it didn't do this last time.
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
Joker dice, yes.
Yeah, it says under trace, my Joker dice.
Oh my fucking god.
There it
Okay.
is. Oh, that's a success. Easily.
And it's from
Okay.
my pistols, so it'll be 2d6 plus 2.
2d6 plus 2. Go ahead and roll for damage. Add another 2d6 on top of that for the extra raises.
Another 2d6.
Another 2d6.
Damn.
So that's
And so-
17.
Yeah, no, hold up. It would be plus 2. So 19.
Plus 2. 19?
Mhm.
Okay. So not only is she going to be shaken, but pretty much like as soon as you draw your pistol, like she's about to move for the gun, but
Well, my pistol was already drawn.
yeah, your pistol was
Mhm.
already drawn. So you pretty much just shoot her point blank in the chest at that point. And pretty much like whatever like life force is there, she just immediately goes limp. She is dead. Like pool
What
of
did
blood
you
just
shoot
kind
her
of like
with?
Fucking my apocalypse revolver.
Yeah, the 45 straight to the chest. Yeah, that's gonna kill you. And that short range, yeah, done.
yeah, and the
I'm
sound
gonna
just
turn to-
echoes, like pretty much temporarily like deafening a couple of you.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn to
You might have to
Irene
the club.
and be like, "Why would the fuck was she pulling a fucking gun on us?
I don't fucking know. She all of a sudden she just had it. Like
Is there something you're not telling us?"
I don't know. I just know that Arakawa is after us. I heard something about a psychic implant about mind slaves, but I didn't know it would come to this.
Well, let's
You
get
can
the
see-
fuck out of here.
Like
Let's-
at this point, she's very clearly crying for her friend. She's like, Judy.
Well, Foxy's gonna go up to her and hug her, and try to comfort her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as you do, she's just
Oh.
kind of like she's kind of like breaking down in your arms. She doesn't know how to process this information. As for the rest of you all, like it's clear that there's a bit of a commotion stirring up after the gunshots.
Luther walks past the corpse and picks up his new revolver and then kicks the corpse
You mean
and says,
Desert Eagle?
fucking replicants.
Desert Eagle.
All right.
But yes,
Okay,
good score. Good
Nail-
score, Luther.
Nails like kind of like shoves Luther aside, looks around, and like starts looking for an exit. Do you want me to roll notice?
Let's see.
We can-
You pretty much know where the exit is.
We can
There,
explain this and it not be a problem.
yeah. I mean, there's
Except-
pretty well a couple of easily
except-
apparent
hold up.
exits from what you can see.
Foxy's gonna look over at fucking Luther. Put the fucking gun back.
I put a gun away. And no, we can't explain the replicants. Nobody believes me about the replicants, even though I'm right.
No, just shut up for right now.
Gun
We
back.
need-
You may have been right.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
You may have
What
been
is
right.
all
All
this
right,
talk about
may have been
replicants?
Was that supposed to be her?
That's Irina talking.
Oh, it sounded Scottish for a second.
No.
Luther looks at her flabbergasted, shocked that he is not instantly denied or not
Okay,
instantly
let's go.
disbelieved.
We'll
I'll explain.
get Irene
We go towards the
out
exit.
immediately.
All right. So you're all going. At this point, like there's pretty well a clear commotion going on anyway. So at this point, let's see. You can see that there's a pretty clear exit, just kind of like leading out the back from the building. You're not gonna have to go in from like the front anyway. So
wait,
it's pretty...
wait a second. I would like to do something before we leave.
Yes.
Yeah, we're just leaving when he's doing that.
I walk up
Please, no,
to
introduce
the next to the nearest bouncer and tell him a bit too loud so everybody can overhear. Insomnia has been shot. Insomnia is dead. And then I run out to the others.
Okay. And that go ahead and give me a go ahead and give me a persuasion check with that just as you're running out. So you pretty much relayed that information. It's just how he's gonna take it. All right. All right. You walk out.
Isn't that replicant dude? Lizard something?
Yeah, right as you said it to him, as you were just kind of like moving to go out, you spare one final look. As you're turning around, you notice he has lizard eyes. The fucker's a lizard man.
Damn lizard.
All right. And with this, I'm assuming you all pretty much make your way out to...
hold up. Are we able to call
Who are you calling?
Trippy and Frequency?
Let's see. In that case, you'd probably have to actually like find a phone
Oh wait, I
booth or a
can't call
terminal.
Trippy. I can't call Trippy. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't have like augments or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think the problem would be where your chapter ends off, so it couldn't really interrupt it.
Yeah, you could.
I don't know.
That'd be pretty interesting. Like, hold on, don't shoot me. I gotta answer this.
Yeah, pretty much if you're not augmented, you're not going to have like a mobile means of communication.
I can contact Frequency, can I?
Yes.
Okay, we contact Frequency.
Well, then I have
Save the
augments
stuff.
in me.
Do you?
I thought he was.
Let's see. In that case, I'm going to slight retcon. Pretty much like along with actually having like jacks in the back of your head, I'm going to assume you can like actually like call through kind of like a slight head augmentation. So it's pretty much just like similar principle to like having a head jack. Slight retcon.
Okay, either way, we call Frequency. We let them know that we're coming with Irene. The stuff that Irene told us, a little bit, the stuff, because we don't know what Trippy and Vincent talked about, so we don't know that at all.
I flagged down a taxi. Do those exist?
Yeah, there are
Yes.
taxis in this place.
Okay.
Yeah, you can go ahead and just kind of like hold out your hand, start flagging down a taxi. It doesn't take long for one to actually kind of like stop by.
Yeah, but we tell Frequency to meet up with us, with Irene, going to see Harold Maxwell.
Where?
Can I roll to persuade the taxi driver instead of charging us to give him just like free tickets to another one of my shows?
You can certainly try. What Wrangler, Billy Bob Sack, what are Foxy and Ricochet saying to each other?
Oh, I was just gonna do the simple where we're just
All right,
explain
ring,
just
hello.
Oh, okay.
By the way, where am I when this call comes in? Am I outside the building again?
Yeah, by this point you're kind of like stepping outside of the building. You're actually kind of like sort of like awkwardly pacing your way towards the gate itself. You're not outside of the complex yet.
Oh,
Okay, so that's where the call comes in. My
Yeah.
headphones ringing.
Yep. Pretty much just kind of like it's sort of like a ringing in your ear, and you're kind of like it's not much to
Heads up
actually like
display. What goes in the show?
yeah, sort of like a heads up display. Only it's tapping into your nervous system.
No, that's not stressful. Hello.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm just gonna relay what Irene kind of told us, and then what happened, like the assassination attempt on her.
Yeah. Where
And
and when are
also
we
the-
meeting?
Also, the mind
Are you-
control stuff that's going on with
Okay.
close friends or whatever.
You know what? That's been on my mind, and I'm trying to figure something out, a way to counter that. If we have to throw hands with this guy, we don't need him getting in our heads. Where are you coming here?
We're coming right now in a taxi.
All right.
Well,
I'll
it-
meet you
How long does that
outside.
take us?
Yeah, because
Honor-
there was something. There's been something I've been mentally crunching on while walking out the building, while waiting to try and get a hold of this guy. I was going to try and think up something to counteract any mental intrusions, and I have an idea, but I need to know what are the drug laws in this city.
Drug laws. Drug laws are fairly lax, except for like certain substances are not are pretty like are cracked down on pretty harshly. Pretty much those I showed under the
Okay.
equipment. Those are the ones that are kind of like cracked down on more.
Are cannabis vape pens a thing in this setting?
I will say yes, most likely.
Can I acquire
And
one quickly and easily?
yes, you would probably have to get outside
You
of the
don't have one
building though.
already?
Yeah.
He's already
Will I
outside.
be able to do that before the taxi gets there?
Most likely.
I'm doing it.
All right. In that case, you're kind
Oh.
of like stepping out of security. You're outside of the premises.
Yep.
And going to a kiosk, you find one there for about 20 credits.
Okay. Now I spent 4 credits at a kiosk already, right? So I got to remove
yeah.
24 from my currency altogether. So 690 minus 24 is 660. I don't like where that math is going. Hold on. 690 minus 24 is
690 minus 20. It's just 20.
well,
So
I
six-
spent the 4 credits earlier at the kiosk.
Oh, I see. 690.
I did.
So it'd be 670. 666. Quite literally 666.
Crap. That's what I was
No, there's
hoping. I
nothing
was
about it.
hoping
Sorry.
my math was wrong. I don't like that.
No, get around
Okay, hold up. Frequency. Just exit the kiosk and then put it in and just -1. There you go.
it. Minus 2 more.
Yeah, you want? I'm getting 2 actually, so I'm down to 646.
All right. So with nails,
Okay.
you end up bribing the cab driver with an actual ticket to your next show. Unfortunately, though, he's having none of it, so you're all pretty much like forced to pay like the 50 credit pay fare for it.
Wait, is that 50 for each of us or 50 total?
50 total for the
Okay,
actual
I'll pay it.
distance.
I'll pay it.
No,
All right.
I can pay it. I can pay it.
Oh, I'll pay it. I'll pay it. I'll pay it.
Okay.
All right. End up transferring the credits, and by the time Ricochet actually has like a cannabis pen, all of you all pretty much just like emerge by in the taxi with a still kind of like shaken insomnia in your all's arms. And with that, we can go ahead and take anywhere between a 5 to 10 minute break just to let everyone kind of like get some water, use the restroom as needed, and then we can continue from there.
So back.
Well, if we want to continue, we can go back to Richard.
We can go back to Richard B. Bigger, see how he's faring in this frightening situation. So, pretty much swapping perspectives back, the android you had talked to earlier, he is right next to you, holding a pistol right at your stomach. And with that, let's see, what are you doing in the situation? Because from what you can tell, it's split-second timing here.
Yeah. Richard holds his hands up in front of the android and goes, hey, you suggested number 22. Don't get all upset when I won. Let's be a little rash here. You don't need to pull a gun on me. Can we talk?
I'm back.
Go ahead and give me a taunt or persuasion roll.
Taunt or persuasion?
One of the two.
Which one better? Let's see here. Persuasion's 0, so I gotta do persuasion. Come on.
All right, that's a success. With that, you can see that the android hesitates. He's like, does not compute. You put in the money. What are you trying to say? That there is something wrong with the actual system itself? Does not compute. Error.
Well, I just want to. I was going to talk to you about the truth. I like the truth. You know, the truth is I'm a liar. Anything that I say will be a lie, and that's the truth. You believe me?
Just kind of looks at you for a second. At this point, let's see really quickly. Oh my god. So pretty much at this point, Vincent right next to you, he just ends up taking out pretty much just like trying to go ahead and slug the android. Misses narrowly, but at the same time, it allows him to kind of like refocus his weapon towards him. With that, we're actually going to be drawing initiative for this.
What? Damn it. Vincent, damn it. Idiot. Dude, that guy's so stupid. That's the stupidest fucking CEO ever. He is so
Trippy,
dumb.
you said his name like 8 fucking times.
I
This
know, he never
motherfucker
comes
didn't
on
even
to it, like,
notice
I know
it.
you already. He's just treating me like some stranger buddy. Like, oh my god.
All right, so how initiative is going to work is you see the deck of cards here on the side.
Yeah.
So instead of rolling for initiative, we're going to be drawing the card, one card for each person, and we're going to be counting high to low, so aces to deuces.
Okay.
And there is also
So
a
I gotta
suit
draw.
order.
There's 2 of us, so Vincent and me.
So there is. Go ahead and draw one for yourself. I have one for Vincent, and I also have one for the android.
All right, so yeah, that's me. 1 card. Did it draw? I just click on draw, right?
I think
Yeah,
it
it's in
did.
the bottom. It's in the bottom left
Yeah.
screen.
A little window pops up saying draw blank cards. I put in 1, maybe 0, 1.
Just try
0, 1.
dragging it out onto the actual board.
Oh, that's cool.
There
Cool,
it is. Yeah.
Oh,
All right. So it looks like the android is going to go first. He's going to try and fire at Vincent. So he's going to do that.
Idiot.
That's a 1, however. So pretty much like as he's trying to like move around his gun, it ends up flying out of his hand by accident. You see the android just kind of like looking rather confused as it just scatters
Pure
along the floor.
intelligence, my ass.
With that, Vincent is going to try and do another uppercut against this guy.
They're androids, right? Like made of metal.
Yeah,
Oh.
Yeah, and he's trying
he's
to punch him.
actually hitting.
must be
So
hurting
let's
him.
see. Still not a whole lot though. So pretty much like he's trying to bring up his fist to. He ends up clocking him across the head, though it seems to affect him little. It's just the loud smacking of metal. You can hear him go, "Ah, fuck!" Like just like cradling his hand as the android just stands unfazed. He's going to try and go ahead and move back a couple of paces, just about 10 or 15 feet away as he's like backing away, just like in bewilderment. Now it's up to you.
All right, so Richard draws his apocalypse revolver and shoots at the android.
All right, go ahead and give me a shooting roll.
Oh, come on. Where'd it go? Oh, why is it -2? Oh, how'd you get past this screen? I gotta click it twice, you said?
Yeah, click the skill again.
Joker's dice.
Yes.
Yeah. I have a range short. Yeah, because I'm right there. Modifier 0.
Oh, that's a failure still. So you end up drawing your weapon, and pretty much just like trying and firing it straight at him. Bullet just narrowly misses, unfortunately. Let's see. So you kind of just curse at yourself whenever you do it. You can still move around, however. You can try and like put yourself in front of Vincent if you want, or like move somewhere else in kind of like this bar area.
Or move behind Vincent.
I know, but I need Vincent to set up the meeting with Agent. Even though we still have insomnia, but he doesn't know that. So Richard's got to try to protect Vincent.
Yeah, you don't
As
know.
dumb as he is. So he moves, in front of Vincent and tries to like shove him back away from the android, putting himself in between the android and Vincent, shouting, "Get back, you fucking idiot!"
I'm fucking trying at this point. Look at this motherfucker. He's insane.
You started it when you punched him. What are you doing trying to punch a can? Does your fist hurt? Huh? How well did that work? Why don't you go take cover behind the bar and let the expert handle this?
Pretty fucking much. I think I fractured something.
Go take cover. Where's your
right.
security?
I don't know. Security. And with that, we're gonna go ahead and draw again for the for initiative. Oh, you got the Joker. All right. So for the Joker, that really means that you get to go anywhere within the round. You can go first or last, and you get a bonus to whatever action you do.
Well, obviously, I want to go first right now and shoot him again.
All right. So your gun's already drawn. Go ahead and do shooting, and you also get a +2 to the roll.
Cool.
So like whenever it asks you for a bonus, just put 2 in there.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. 2.
All right, that's a hit. So go ahead and roll damage for your gun.
It's 2d6 +2 for Apocalypse Revolver.
2d6 +2. Thanks. Hold on.
And always remember, you gotta keep up with your ammo in your gun.
Oops, shit! I hit the wrong thing. I'll just do another d6 and
another d6. Yeah.
I'm trying to do the advanced roll. I didn't put the roll thing up. Oh, I got another.
No. On the damage one, you don't get to re-roll.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah, it's just going to be 9. Even so, like that is actually enough. So
that's +2, so that'd be 11.
Oh, that is right. It is to damage as well.
Oh yeah, +2.
Yeah. So it's 11 in total.
11.
So pretty much like as you're shooting, like not only does it hit him, it hits him square in the forehead. Pretty much just it's flying circuitry as this android just kind of like immediately his head explodes and he clatters to the ground. Even so, there's quite a commotion as people are like scattering here and there, just trying to rapidly flee the scene as quickly as possible.
All right. So Richard puts his gun away quickly and goes find Vincent.
Vincent's right next to you. He's like,
grabs him.
What the fuck, man?
What do you mean, what the fuck? What do you mean, what the fuck? That's what I am asking you. I'm the investigator. I ask questions. What the fuck was that, Vincent?
I guess it was. I guess it was Arakawa. I didn't think it would work against fucking robots.
Line.
Oh, did Trippy leave?
Yeah, I think
did
we
he
lost somebody.
His internet may have gone out. Oh, that's bad timing. Uh-oh. Well, in that case, as that's
There he
going on
is.
anyway.
Oh, he's back.
Oh, he's back.
So this
Where is
dude's
he
a
back?
technopath now.
Wait, he's not back. Why'd you say he was back for frequency? Damn.
He's
'Cause he
back
popped
in the
up on
roll
my
20.
screen.
He's back in roll 20.
He is not
just not
yet in
StreamYard
the
yet.
StreamYard.
Okay, I'm on the other screen.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we can go ahead and swap perspective back to everyone. So anyway, pretty much like Ricochet, as you're just kind of like getting a blunt in hand, the taxi cab ends up pulling by, and all of you pretty much just like unload from the cab. Insomnia is there, kind of like still shocked, standing next to you, and you all actually see each other there. Security guard looks completely on edge, like he doesn't know what the hell's going on.
Samia does know. What's his name? Oh, shit, let me pull up my notes.
Maxwell.
Harold. Yeah, Maxwell.
Yeah.
So we can get her, get her to let us in to get to him.
All right. So you're letting her doing the talking then?
Yeah.
Okay.
She can get us in.
All right.
All right.
Okay, you still shaking?
Yeah, she's
And
still kind of like in a
she's still
state of
shaking,
shock
she
at
just
this
got
point.
out.
Yeah, she just got out of the cab.
All right, I gotta reopen roll
All
20.
right.
'cause
I'm
it
gonna
just crashed.
take a pull on the one pull on the pen as I approach everybody, and so this is Irina we have here, right? Insomnia.
Yeah. Yeah. So you don't necessarily. Well, apart from what apart from what Foxy had told you about her, like you don't know her directly, but you can tell, looking at her.
Obviously, this is her.
Yeah, obviously it's her.
Because I'm assuming she told me that they're coming with her. That's how
Yeah.
we're supposed to get in, I believe. All right. Just say, hello, I know you're having a rough time, but we're going to watch out for you. And we're going to watch out for Maxwell, too. And offer her a pull on the pen. She looks like she could use it.
She just gladly accepts. She kind of takes a deep draw, gives it back to you. She's like, "Thanks. I needed that right now. Follow me. I'll try and get you into the complex before any more come our way. Is there anyone else with you?"
Yeah, there's
Yes, one other.
Well, let's just pray he's not dead right now.
I remember his name because we have the same name, Richard.
Oh, well,
Has anybody
lucky
called him?
coincidence. All right. And in that case, she ends up coming up to the front guard. She's pretty much just like, "Let us in. We need to speak with Agent Maxwell right at this instant." And pretty much there's a bit of back and forth before you're all like promptly led inside. And pretty quickly, like she kind of...
She's better than the box.
Yep, she's better than the box.
Where is the box anyway?
It's in transit.
Probably sitting by a kiosk.
And by that point, you're each led into the complex, kind of like escorted by security before you come up to an office itself. It's pretty well clear that this is Agent Maxwell's office before you're ushered inside.
I'm gonna turn before we get in there. I'm gonna turn to Jones. Be like, okay, can you please watch out on this door? You know, for any lizard folk, replicas, or anything, while we go in here and talk to Maxwell.
You want me to wait outside?
Yes, and watch out for any lizards trying to come in.
What about the lizards inside?
We can handle the lizards inside.
All
But we
right. And I hand you a pipe bomb. Here, just in case.
Thank you.
And check every
Very
chair
thoughtful.
for some of these.
We will do that.
Yeah, I will personally make sure to check for bombs and explosives.
Okay, Luther waits outside, but is not happy about it. And he's listening at the door, on the door. His eavesdropping.
All right.
In all reality, we need eyes watching for anything incoming anyway.
Keeping an eye out for those lizard people
And replicants.
and replicants.
And mind
And psycho
trolls.
bastards.
And gay cyber frogs. All that.
Yeah.
All that stuff. All right.
All right,
Okay,
well,
are we following her in?
Yep.
Yeah.
Luther is keeping watch outside as
Outside
you all
the
are
office. Yep. Outside
as
the
you
office
all are
door.
ushered into this office,
on.
except for Luther.
Otter, wait a second. What is the floor like? What is the layout?
It's very much kind of like a metallic flooring. Very kind of like high techy. Like pretty
Are we
well
on the
maintained.
first floor, or did we take an elevator or stairs or something?
This is more or less like a second floor office space.
Okay, so hallway, go in the door from a hallway type thing.
Yeah, hallway, go up elevator, go out,
All right.
head straight to office.
Are there
Yeah,
any
that
other
was
people
very
around?
good question. Yeah, we want to keep an eye out for potential exits should something go south.
Yeah. Even so, while you're kind of like passing along this hallway, you can see like several scientists kind of like filtering around the place. It seems to be like a pretty busy office space anyway.
All right.
Are there any plants around?
Yes, there are a few potted plants every here and there.
All right, I walk over to 2 or 3 potted plants and place 3 pipe bombs
Okay.
and
You
hide
place-
them in the plants.
All right.
Nobody can see.
Go ahead and give me a. This will be a stealth roll, I believe, to try and do this and not seem openly inconspicuous while you're placing explosives in an office environment.
Any modifier?
No, not really. Go ahead and just make a straight roll for it. Holy shit. All right.
Did he succeed?
So pretty much you find a certain moment in time where pretty much all of the clientele is not there. Then all of a sudden you just dig out a few pipe bombs out of your bag, place them right on the plants. Are you trying to hide them?
Yes, as best I can.
All right. So you're pretty much like digging up a little dirt and like placing them down inside the potted plant, kind of like covering it up. Just as you finish, another clientele, just kind of like another staff member just walks by and you're just kind of like whistling, just acting inconspicuous.
I'd look at the office worker and tell him, you do know this is a poisonous plant and it should not be in an office space.
The lady passing you just kind of like gives you a weird look as she's walking on. She doesn't even respond.
Dude, you have
Yeah.
no idea how happy I am that roll succeeded. If that failed, this would have caused a lot of problems.
It could have gone sour really quickly.
Also, I assume they are remotely detonated. The bomb.
Uh,
Pipe bombs. They would.
Yeah, they-
because I didn't think of a kind of trigger or anything. Just
Yeah, they're remotely detonated.
nice.
All right. Filtering into this office space, the rest of you, you find that it's pretty well lit. There seems to be a pretty nice view of sort of like a courtyard outside of this kind of like a far window. But behind a long desk, you can see this kind of like very kind of like masculine looking black skinned man, just kind of like in business attire, bald head. He's just kind of like giving you this very sort of like concerned look as Insomnia just steps in front of you. She's just like, Harold, we need your help. He's like, what's going on? Something, is it Arakawa? And she's just like, yes, indeed. He's back. He's after all of us. Then we need to prepare. Who are you people?
Agent Wallace, we've been sent to make sure that Hirakawa does not get you.
And we haven't
Oh.
heard from our other friend who went to go get Vincent.
I see. So you're the people who
You mean Harold?
you're the people
No,
who
Vincent.
Cranston has hired.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Excuse me?
You're the people who Cranston has hired, I see.
Yes.
Well, it seems like you've done a decent enough job. You've taken care of insomnia at least. And I can't say the same for Vincent.
Does everybody call you that outside of work?
Well,
What?
it's kind of a well-established name. I am called insomnia quite a bit.
Okay.
Give us the lowdown of what exactly is going on here with this.
Damn, it is so bad that Luther is not in the room right now. You can only imagine what he would have said.
What's the name? Hiroshima? Hiroshima?
Hirohito.
Hirohito.
Hirohito?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hiro Mahito.
Give us the lowdown on Hirohito.
What does
We
he
got
look like so we
something.
know who he
Irene.
is?
We don't really know what he looks like. We don't really know where he lives, where he's been, associates with. We gotta
Well,
find him.
It sounds like he's tracking down all of us one by one. I don't exactly know where he is. That was part of why I hired Cranston, and it sounds like he's wanted help from you, each of you. But I can only say that he's been trying to track us down, and so far it seems like he's been succeeding at least, or he's been deterred anyway.
Well, Irene's friend tried to murder her. What's that about?
Well, it sounds like part of his psychic implant. He can do that to different people. It's part of what makes him special as a cyber psych. You see, we awaken that part of his brain. Since then, he can project his conscience onto other people, turn them into slaves of sorts, have them work for him. They don't even know that they're slaves until it happens. That's when all hell breaks loose. Shit hits the fan. Usually we're the ones to pick up the pieces. Well,
Y'all
until
have
now.
not developed any deterrent or ability to not have this happen to y'all specifically?
Well, the thing is, it's bleeding edge science. We haven't come up with any way to counteract it as of yet. And once we even started considering it, that was when he escaped.
That's what I picked these up for. I don't know if it'll work, but I have no better idea. If he's going to get into our heads, let's at least not make it easy on him. I'm holding up the vape pens.
Well, it sounds like for this, you may need some heavy artillery for the job. Maybe I have one such weapon to help you along. Anyway, he ends up kind of like reaching into kind of like he moves over to the side of his room, pulls out a painting. Behind it is a safe. Just kind of like rather inconspicuously turns the dial. It clicks, opens. It's a large safe, and inside he ends up taking out.
Space lasers.
Well, it's a rather large gun. He's like, for any of you who are better with some heavy weapons, this may just do the trick. My men and I call it a sonic cannon. It projects an actual wave of supersonic energy, and well, you don't want to be the other guy at the far end of this.
Should we wear earplugs when we use it?
May be ideal.
Whenever
Whenever we were testing this, it did bust a few subjects' eardrums, but then again,
Who wants
it got a lot worse.
I just said I'll take it.
All right,
Okay,
he hands it to
Anton.
you.
else?
All right. I'll make sure to put it to good use.
He's like, just make sure you do, because if you fail, it's my ass, and your all's too.
So, Harold, have y'all ever spotted him any particular place?
Well, I'm willing to bet Vincent might have learned a bit more, but despite all we've tried to do, we can't seem to find him anywhere. We tried looking in Foundation, but kept coming up with dead ends. It's like he evaded us at every turn. Perhaps you could try exploring there. I don't know, it's like everywhere we go, it's either a dead end or my men keep getting killed some one way or another.
Is there any way we can draw him out? Or does he only ever use mind controlled people?
Not entirely sure.
He's got to
Perhaps-
eat. He's got to sleep. He needs supplies.
That is true.
Somebody's going to see him at some point somehow.
Perhaps there could be some way to, as much as I hate to say, we may have to resort to a form of bargaining, just to rat him out anyway. Then we could formulate some sort of trap, an ambush. Perhaps that could work.
How would you proceed us doing that?
Well, one person would probably have to be bait. Now, normally I would put myself on the line, but frankly, I'm too important in this case. I'm needed here, and I don't think my workers could afford it if I ended up living or dying. Well, specifically dying.
Yeah, but I'm not putting Irene out there. And you, well, you're the one who's the most responsible for this. And either way, he'll come and kill you.
Give me a persuasion check
Okay.
with a -2.
That's bullshit. Fuck you, Auden. How do I put -2 in there?
It'll ask you for a bonus or whatever. Just put -2.
Yeah, but will it register as -2?
Yeah, it should.
Ah! Ah! Big tits for the win!
See, he just looks at you. Spares
Things
a,
that make you go boing.
spares a slight glance to those titties. He's like, I'll do it.
He considers your arguments.
Just give me that big ass gun. I'm gonna need it.
Oh,
Nails,
he's asking for the gun?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
asking for the gun now.
Nails gives it back to him.
He's like, well, perhaps I'll end up dying by the end of this, but at the very least, this'll help.
Is there any way you can
Well,
contact
first things
Vincent right
first.
now? Call him?
What was that, Billy Bob?
Is there any way we can call Vincent, get him to call Vincent, check up on him?
He's like, I can try. I can call him here and there, here right now. Just spare me a few minutes. He pretty much walks over to one corner of the room, just kind of like talking briefly. It doesn't take long for voices to get raised. It's almost like something strange has been happening on the other end. More or less, you're kind of like hearing bits and pieces like, what the hell? What do you mean an android started opening fire? God damn it. Get over here as soon as you can. Then by the end, he just nods. He's like, they're on their way. Him and a friend of yours.
Ah, that'd be Richard B. Bigger.
Not an interesting
So
name,
what does he
I'm not
look
going to
like?
question it.
What'd you say? Frequency?
What does he look like so we could recognize him when he's coming? Can he produce? Harold, can you produce a picture of him? The more info, the better. What is the extent of his psychic powers to your current knowledge? How far can he operate while still controlling someone?
He opens up a desk, ends up opening a desk file, hands it over to you. Here's a dossier for the killer, and you can see it's pretty much just like a full-on kind of like fully informational dossier of Hirohito Arakawa. It's kind of like a mugshot, really, of his face. It's the expression of kind of like a man very clearly of like Asian descent, likely Japan or somewhere around that area. He has kind of like just like very frizzled hair, like it's almost like he hasn't really been able to take care of himself in a long time. Even from the mugshot, you can tell there's just kind of like a glaze over to his eyes, like there's next to
He is
nothing
haggard.
there. Yeah. And it pretty much gives like a full-on kind of like information dump of everything he's capable of, including psychic imprint, kind of like his connections. Go ahead and give me, let's see, give me a smarts check.
All right. Smarts.
Yeah. You can click on the attribute and it should give you a roll.
Yeah, that's your actual attribute.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was down under skills. No modifiers, right?
No modifiers. All right, that's a success. So kind of like scouring over this dossier, it seems like just looking over this, it doesn't explicitly say it within the dossier itself, but you kind of like look under family connections, or at least what little family he had before being kind of like abducted into this sort of like cyberpsych program. There was
Being given the
mention
River Tam treatment.
It sounds like there were a lot of connections kind of like associated with his dying mom over in Foundation. Pretty much like there was a certain apartment there where he ended up being raised before he ended up moving later on. That is one lead that the others didn't seem to actually go over.
No, his mother's already passed.
It seems like his mother's already passed, but it sounded like there was a lot of significance around kind of like them spending time together in that place. That was kind of like one of the threads they actually tapped into, reading in other sections
And the place is
whenever
called
they were
Foundation.
unlocking his potential.
So the mother's house is in Foundation.
Yes.
So we know where he could possibly be holding up.
Right. That's what it seems like.
Can I also check as well?
Yeah.
So I do smarts. God damn, I did the exact same roll. Fuck.
Now, can he actually? Now, if it says what he could do, the imprint is where he takes over control of somebody remotely, right?
Yeah. That's the imprint.
Can he just read minds? Can he remote view? Can he telepathically link up with anybody and have a conversation with them? Can he feel emotions?
From what you're actually reading, kind of like within the dossier itself, it sounds like pretty much whenever he's imprinting his consciousness onto them, it's like he's giving them a command. So essentially, it's like they're no different, but once it hits that trigger, they're kind of like unconsciously working towards like fulfilling that command. And once they fulfilled it, they pretty much drop dead. Like it's like death by aneurysm.
So there's no way he could release control of someone without their passing.
No. Once he actually imprints his conscience onto someone, it's permanent, and it's almost always fatal.
So he's not going, okay, I'm done with you. I'm just going to kill you as I let you go. It's just a side effect of letting them go as it kills them.
Right.
Okay. And does it say how much effort it takes him to tap into someone's head? I mean, can he just do it on a whim, or does he have to focus?
From what it says in the dossier, it sounds like pretty much from like different tests, it actually takes quite a bit of willpower from him in order to do that. he can only do so much of it at a time. So it is like a focused effort. He can do it inconspicuously, but like once it's done, it has a clear like effect on his stamina.
Does it say upon their last and I know that this dossier probably doesn't cover everything he's able to do now, but did it give an idea of a range? Like, does he have to be within a certain distance of somebody to do the imprint on them? And once they're imprinted, can they control them to a larger range than he could reach them originally? I want to know as much about how it works so I can.
Right, and this dossier pretty much has all of that anyway. So let me see here very quickly. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, pretty much like from what you're seeing here, it's like anyone he's able to touch and summon that energy, he can pretty much like that's how he's imprinting his conscience onto them. It's like he's touching them like straight on the head themselves.
So he has to physically touch them, as far as we currently know, in order to start that.
Yes, he has to physically touch them in order for it to work.
Once he touches them, does it happen in an instant, or does it take a moment or two? Do they have the possibility of trying
Does
to
he have to touch
shrug,
skin?
block them out, prevent them from getting in?
It's instantaneous. There is kind of like an indication here. It doesn't always work. Like there is a certain level of mind power, kind of like a battle of wills going on. But once, like, if he's able to succeed, that's whenever the transference happens. And
like I imagine if someone's just enraged and he tries it on them, he's not going to have a very good time trying to get in.
It's going to be more difficult. And it's also implied there's only so many he can pretty well enslave at any one time. So
he can do more than one at a time.
He can do more than one at a time. It says here that it's limited to about half a dozen people at any one time, though it kind of like it seems like the dossier leaves the question open. This could change over time with further development.
Let's not give him that time. Oh, what about, can he read minds?
If
we're talking shit behind his back, will he know that?
From what you can see scouring over the dossier, there doesn't seem to be anything that would give that indication.
Good.
There is a bit more.
We can't assume that he doesn't do it, but it's a good sign that he doesn't. That doesn't seem to be a strong suit, at least.
One footnote. This seems to be one of the later experiments. It seems like there's actually been tests kind of like shooting kind of like pellets at him at really high speeds, testing his resilience to certain damage using his psychic powers. Yeah. It sounds like there's been a certain amount of resistance of
telekinetic barrier
to a certain extent.
Oh, goody.
Yep.
I'm going to need faster bullets.
There we are.
Hey,
Trip. Back in the stream.
Dude, that is so fucking frustrating. That is so stupid. I wasn't doing anything. It just all of a sudden a little warning pops up saying EXE like failed or StreamYard's crashed. Whole computer just shuts off. Just turns off.
It's the lizard people.
Yeah, it is the lizard people.
Well, I think what happens, for some reason, Firefox, when I close it, it doesn't close in the background, so it'll stack. And if I don't know what's happening, I have to open up Task Manager and close the ones in the background. So it's like stack the StreamYard's, scripts we're playing, basically. Yeah, it's just stupid. I missed so much. So, is there anyone can catch me up real quick?
Yeah. So pretty much since then, everyone else was able to pretty much be guided by Irina into the complex itself for EvoCorp. They all met Agent Maxwell, and it sounds like there's a whole plan with them trying to either chase down.
Yeah, Foxy used her boobs to convince him to be the bait,
Yes.
Harold.
and we know that the dude's mother's house is in Foundation. His mother that passed away. The cyber psych.
Pretty much, they have a lead into where he is, which it sounds like it's in Foundation, quite possibly within kind of like an old house where it was like he would spend time with his dying mother.
Yeah, all
Like,
right.
that
yeah,
was
so,
that was an actual trigger they used within
Exactly.
experiments.
that's where Richard already figured that was just going to be his next stop. He was going to grab Vincent
but
and head towards Foundation.
We got him to call Vincent so we can all meet up and go together.
All right. So what's Richard doing?
Richard is so pretty much last we ended up checking off. Richard is like heading out pretty quickly along with Vincent, trying to rendezvous with everyone else around Evo Corp, or at least some rendezvous point.
Well, the rendezvous point sounds like it's Foundation.
Yeah, but you would want to get together and actually discuss plans.
Nah, not Richard B.
Yeah,
Bigger.
yeah.
You'd just be like, all right, let's go. Foundation, now. No, I'm just trying to improvise here. All right. Carry on.
All right. But it isn't too long before you're kind of like driven across town. You're actually kind of like, you don't have to hail a cab or even run. Like, a cab comes to you by the time you're all heading out. Like, pretty much by the time that Vincent seems to be contacting Maxwell, there's a vehicle ready to take you off towards Evo Corp. So it doesn't take long till you're actually there. You're kind of like ushered along inside to the building, pretty much along with Vincent. After a few more minutes of kind of like conversing, you're there inside the office as well, passing by Luther, who seems to be having rather odd interactions with a potted plant.
Okay. Sheesh.
You just hear Vincent go, "Oh, God fucking damn it. What? This has been the worst day. I swear. First I lose my bet. Now I'm nearly killed. What the fuck is going on?"
Yeah, and Luther's over there has a fascination with pot.
Good one.
Oh my god. All right. Now the real question is, Maxwell, is there any place we can have Eve and Vincent be safe while we go do this?
I mean, here is probably the best bet. We could.
Is there any way to lock it down where no one can get in?
I could tell security not to let anyone in or out, if that means anything.
But how do we know that any individual in security hasn't been compromised by a tap on the head?
Well,
We could leave Luther here.
You want to
Are you
leave
sure you want to do
Luther
that to them?
unsupervised?
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
think that's a
it's
good
not the
idea?
best plan.
No.
Yeah, do that.
We can't leave him on his own. That's when the lizard people show up.
Fuck. Oh, can we drop him off at Brian, the PI, the hired dude who hired us? He's got
Barry.
If we have to drop him off at the dude who hired us, he wouldn't have bothered to hire us.
He hired us to go get him and protect him.
No, I
And
thought you
We can discuss semantics later, but the point is, I'm sure he's a capable guy, obviously, but this place far safer than his office.
What place?
I think he's talking Evo Corp.
He just said it was the other place was safer than Evo Corp. That's why I'm confused.
No. I think Evo Corp's probably safer. Did the office look like a stronghold to you?
Not really. From what you saw, it seemed more like it. Pretty much the only thing it had going for it was that it was inconspicuous. It was located down a random back alley.
I'm thinking in terms of how defensible is the place. I don't think his office is the best place to. I mean, it might keep them hidden, yes, but if anybody comes after them and we're not there, where does he have a better shot of keeping them out?
Harold's coming with us.
Yes, but the other two were looking for a place to keep them safe.
Oh,
right?
shit. Yes, I just said take him to the fucking Brian's PI department.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's probably not the safest.
Why wouldn't it be not the safest?
As far as defensibility, look at that office. It'd be easier to defend this room than it would
He's
be
talking-
defend that office.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in that office. It seemed like it's real.
Is there a way to secure this fucking room, or is there somewhere in this building that they can be locked in and the other fucking anyone cannot get access to?
Vince has got 2 security with him too.
But you're also right. Somebody's going to have to stay with them. We can't leave
Yeah,
them.
I definitely say
We can't leave them unguarded.
Vincent, we leave with Barry in his god awful office, and we take Harold with us to Foundation.
What is our plan?
Are you see another
That's
character?
a damn good question.
We're
I
going
mean-
to. We
Wait,
need a
does his
further.
company have armored vehicles?
I know his company should be like he should have no problem protecting himself.
Because if they got armored vehicles, we just fucking take them with us.
No, maybe
Two
that's a
Foundation.
question. That's a good
I like
question. Maybe
that
Foxy
idea.
should ask Vincent that.
Who the fuck is Vin? Oh yeah, Vincent.
Vincent, we all met up, right? Everyone's met up together. So it's Arena, Vincent, Harold, and the whole
Well, we'd
crew.
be asking Maxwell because he's the owner of the company.
Well, then there you go.
Maxwell,
Yeah,
do you have armored vehicles?
yeah, I can pretty well guarantee it to you. Both Evo Corp and other connections.
Okay, we're gonna take the armored car, and we're gonna take Irene and Vincent with us because you know what? I'm not really comfortable with how compromised your security can be in this place
Well,
due to mind
It-
control.
if that's the case, then it's probably best that we all stick together on this. We all take the armored car. That way, we're all probably fucked anyway. But I mean, at least we'll be fucked together. Wait, that didn't sound right.
No, it didn't.
Okay, let's do it.
I think I found the name of my new song.
Vagina.
What?
Vagina.
All right, I like this plan. Let's get some armored vehicles, and we're rolling down to Foundation.
All
All
right.
right.
Also, this may have to be another session. This is getting quite long.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll end it off on this. So pretty much like as you're all kind of like going back down the stairs, end up rejoining with Luther, leaving the inconspicuous pipe bombs inconspicuous.
Well, hold
And
up. Does he want to take the pipe bombs out of the fucking plants?
A good question.
No,
Nah.
no. I leave them.
No, he should just take the plant.
Just take the whole fucking pot with him.
No, but
Yeah, just-
Luther sees on the receptionist desk a package and snatches it, rattles it, feels there's a rock inside, and takes it.
What you got there, buddy?
Chekhov's rock.
Was that package addressed to me?
No.
He just
Yeah,
kind
there
of
may or may not be a rock in it,
I
depending if you're
open
looking.
the package, take the rock out, and hand him the package.
Yeah, there may be a rock in there, but there may not.
He just looks towards Foxy. He's like, "Is he?" Just kind of makes a gesture with a finger right next to his head, basically
He's what
making
we
a
call
cuckoo gesture.
special. Yeah, we call him special.
Yeah.
He just kind of nods. He's like, "Let's go."
Wait,
Don't make
where's
any losing
Arena?
movements.
Where's Insomnia?
Insomnia is there with you as well. You're all pretty much
Okay,
there in one
I
group.
hold my
We're all
my
together.
arm out, real gentleman-like, and offer it to her.
She just kind of like slips away as soon as you start doing that, knowing full well that you just like straight up grabbed her boobs earlier.
Foxy
like-
just turns back to Luther. Keep your hands to yourself, please.
I just offered my elbow. Trying to be
I turn to
nice.
Insomnia and hold up the pen. Could you use another?
She doesn't say anything, but she accepts. Takes another draw, hands it back.
Let's go
And then I
before the
said,
lizard
Good
people
luck
show
sitting
up.
in the truck with them.
All right,
And keep
but you
walking.
all end up heading out to the to pretty much this kind of like interior garage, pretty large space, and there before you is just kind of like among several, just like one of these heavily armored vehicles, pretty much just like kind of like an armored Hummer, something along those lines. End up pretty much like getting in without any trouble, and we'll say that we're ending off with you all just kind of like coasting down straight towards Foundation. Streets pass you by. Neon just kind of like temporarily blinds you every here and there. It's kind of this surreal scene before you finally make it to the looming structure of Brooklyn Bridge, and there below is just kind of like this vast sort of like city slum, several docks kind of like spanning out onto the polluted water itself. It's just one gigantic shanty town, buildings atop buildings, heavy pollution. You can tell that you've just got into the bad side of town, and
I
that's where
love
we're
New
going to end
York.
the session.
Is there
Sweet.
like cyberpunk esque like noir jazz playing in the background?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much just having Vangelis music play in the background.
Doomer jazz.
Yeah, just playing that saxophone.
Alrighty.
All right. Well, for all of you who have joined us as part of this whole stream, well, I have to thank you. And until next time, we shall come back and finish off this grand little adventure. Until next time,